Hey yo, it's Friday, time to start the show. Ask a traffic cop, let's roll with the flow. Of course we've got our host Sean Shapiro, and just because it's Friday, we've got Erin the parking guru too. Who's on scene? Our questions, well that's why we're here. Talking traffic safety, traffic law and parking, that's clear. Want to join this job? We can talk about that too. Any way you cut it, we've got the answers for you. Traffic safety, police and parking laws, join the party, let's keep it live. Ask your questions, we're here to share. Together we'll make our streets safe and fair. From double parking to that yellow line, we'll break it down, sip some knowledge, have a good time.
It's Friday, time to start the show. Ask a traffic cop, let's roll with the flow. Of course we got our host Sean Shapiro, and just because it's Friday, we got Erin the parking guru too. Is on scene. Got questions? Well that's why we're here. Talking traffic safety, traffic law and parking, that's clear. Wanna join this job? We can talk about that too. Any way you cut it, we got the answers for you. Traffic safety, police and parking vibes, join the party, let's keep it live. Ask your questions, we're here to share. Together we'll make our streets safe and fair. From double parking to that yellow line, we'll break it down. Sip some knowledge, have a good time.
Okay. Did you notice that was the same song sung two different ways? If you didn't, well, that's what it was. Welcome to the FriYAY show. That didn't work. I didn't push it hard enough. The FriYAY show, brought to you by the people who bring you every show, the Toronto Police Service. My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service. I work at traffic safety programs, talking about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff every single day, even when it annoys my family, because that's a thing. We are currently broadcasting on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and of course Twitter, which is now called X, or X, which used to be called Twitter, whichever order you like it. Welcome. I hope you are ready for the weekend. I certainly am. I'm looking forward to not being here tomorrow and waking up at 4 a.m. No, I'll be waking up like late tomorrow. Wherever you're watching, I want you to know that you can ask questions by dropping comments in the window. Well, not the window, but under the chat, under the window. If you ask us questions, we give you answers, and I will give you this little piece of information. I'm usually 15 minutes behind when it comes to answering, because as I speak, the questions come in, and it tends to be that we kind of remain about 15 minutes behind. First in, first out. We do our best. If you can't hang out for the entire show, these options above me are three of the many, but you can watch the reruns on YouTube, and that's great. But if you want to do it while you're driving, don't watch video. That's illegal. You know, $615 fine, 3 demerit points, 3-day suspension on conviction. Kind of not cool. So synchronize your phone, your device, or whatever. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeart Podcasts, and of course you can listen on Spotify. And oddly enough, Spotify hosts it, and it's free. Like, it's free for us, it's free for you, it's free for everybody. I think it's a pretty cool option. Check it out if you want to get your own podcast. Go check out Spotify for podcasters. And that's a free plug because I think it's a great thing. You have a voice. Use your voice. Share your message. And use Spotify to do it with no costs involved. All right. What else we got to talk about? I can change the background. Is it the wrong button? It's the wrong button. Okay. We got a FriYAY show for you. And Erin, who is running behind schedule, is coming in Had some stuff and things that needed to be done elsewhere in the building before starting up here in the studio, but she's making her way. She promises she's showing up. So for anyone who popped in saying, "Where's Erin?" she's on her way. And with that, let me get into some stuff and things. I want to tell you about something called Vision Zero Enforcement Team. And if you've been here, like many of you have, you know that that's something I talk about at the beginning of every episode. The Vision Zero Enforcement Team are a dedicated group of officers that focus on traffic safety, and they do that in a different way than I do it. I'm all about traffic education. I don't go on the road. I don't give you tickets, but they do. Yeah, they're out there trying to change driver behavior one ticket at a time. And I always get into this conversation, an argument really, with people in the comments who say, tickets don't change behavior. And you know what? It doesn't work on everybody. But if it helps just one, it's a good thing. If it saves a life, that's what we're all about. We're trying to reduce serious injury and death on our roads, and we do that by focusing on the big four. We are trying to get people to stop doing those things. No, those things. I got to remember which direction to point in. I've been doing this for a long time. I still don't remember what side. This stuff. Yeah, there. Okay, speeding, aggressive driving, distracted driving, and impaired driving are the leading causes of serious injury and death on our roadways. It's unacceptable. We understand that minor fender benders are going to happen. Doesn't matter what we do, minor ones are going to happen. The major ones, the ones that lead to serious injury and death, are totally preventable and totally unacceptable. So get with the program, or you might find yourself getting a ticket. Mind you, the folks that watch this show are probably not getting tickets because they're learning stuff and things every single day. They're learning about the laws and what's expected, and they're probably doing the right thing. Just saying. Today is, what day is it today? It's the 12th. And our police officers from Vision Zero Enforcement Team are focusing on 11 Division and 43 Division. We're talking about the areas, the neighborhoods of Junction, or like the Junction, Weston, Hyde Park, Ronsonsvale, Bendale, Woburn, Highland Creek, West Hill, Guildwood, neighborhoods where real people live, work, and play. And I listed some of those, and you may have said, why do you say it like that? They're hashtags. Those were the hashtags I found that represented the communities that were in those divisions. Those aren't every community, but if you want your community mentioned, reach out to me, let me know that I missed you and I should rotate your hashtag in. Because the goal is to let the people who follow those hashtags know that we're caring, that we're focusing, that we're taking care of them. That's what it's all about. We announce it every day on Twitter, Traffic Services. We announce it on the Traffic Services Toronto Instagram page, and of course our Facebook page. If you want links to that, go to TrafficCop.ca. I'll put it on screen for you. TrafficCop.ca. Later on in the show, we will absolutely be talking about employment. If you'd like to join the Toronto Police Service, if you have aspirations of becoming a police officer, a special constable, a parking enforcement officer, a communications operator, and any one of, I think, 10 civilian positions currently posted, we'll be talking about that in about 30 minutes. Yeah, give or take. So that's a thing. Also, if you like the intro music, that was AI generated thanks to Suno.ai. They are a application. There's paid and free plans. And I say that because they're not paying me to say it, but I really, really have fun with it. And I like to credit them because they are truly the magical folks who made the music. I just typed in some ChatGPT kind of things saying, make me a song about Ask a Traffic Cop show. And it did the rest. Very, very cool. I am sure there are many, many people who are nervous about AI taking over the world. Some days I am, but not today. Not when I'm making music. Let's see here. Matthew Channing has questions. Let's get into the questions. I see a whole bunch of hellos and a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to get into it. If you ask questions, we have answers, and we're going to get to you. Just take your time, take it slow, and be patient, because if you ask things a lot, I'll ignore you. So ask your question once, and we'll get to you. And we're going to go order as it comes in. Northern Pike says, good morning, Sean and everyone. And I would say hi to Erin, who would be standing right here if she was in the room, but she's not. Julie says, good morning and happy FriYAY. I said, while testing my other device, said aloha, and that's me. That's my voiceover cop channel. Akela says, hi, Erin, to the non-existent Erin beside me. You got to get your glasses checked, my friend. Luigi says, hello. Northern Pike was asking me to dance. I don't dance. There's no dancing happen. Oh, no kidding. Sean Chen is at Tipsy today at St. Michael's Hospital. I did not know that was going on today. I missed the memo. I usually presented that. Crystal says, good morning, Sean. Good morning, Crystal. And Josh says, good morning from Edmonton. Welcome back to all the regulars. We do have a lot of regulars. If you are new, I guess that makes you irregular. But you can be regular by following the channel. Yes, you can hit subscribe or like or follow or like and subscribe, follow, share, like all the buttons, hit all the buttons. If you're on TikTok in particular, tap that screen so your fingers go numb. It really helps us share the message with other folks. Yeah, the algorithm likes it when you like it. So, hit that. I'm going to hit the button on my device. We got 94 people in here. How many people can we get in the room? We used to have hundreds of people in the room. I had a live stream with 40,000 people in one live stream. That was crazy. Crazy. And the algorithm changed and no more 40,000. What can I say? Sales CNC, what's going on, my friend? I was looking at my miniature Cybertruck this morning. I thought of you. When Sales CNC came to the auto show, he presented me with my very own Cybertruck, knowing that I'm on the wait list for them in Canada. He delivered it in person, but a smaller version. Erin was in the thumbnail and she disappeared. I was wearing different clothes because it was a thumbnail generated from a previous episode, but she will be coming to join us shortly. Josh says, "Hey Sean, how do you feel about me buying you a Lord title from Scotland? That way you're Sir Lord." I looked at those ads. These are the ads that show up on Instagram all the time, and I think you buy like a 1 foot by 1 foot square somewhere in Scotland so that you can be. And I went to Scotland last year. Scotland's awesome. I was actually on the Jerry Agar show from Scotland. I took a telephone call from them to chat about traffic safety. So even when I'm on vacation, even when I'm in Scotland, I do traffic stuff. Anyway, so Josh says, Sir Shapiro, Lord Shapiro, either works. I could get used to that. I think especially when you're flying in economy, to be called Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay. I've got a Michael dad joke. I'm flagging it for later. Thank you, Michael. LJ says, "Good morning. Sitting on a plane, waiting for takeoff, passing the boarding time, watching this great show." I am so happy to hear that you are, enjoying the show, but where are you going to? Is it somewhere better than here? I hope you are for your sake. We're a little jealous if you're going somewhere awesome, but do let us know. Beck likes to identify as a barnyard animal and draws wiggly lines. I know what they're looking for. Beck, sorry to say you can't offend us. We've heard it all before, and eventually you'll grow up. Okay. Tien says, "Good morning, everyone." Evan Young says, W policeman, I guess win police or wonderful policeman. I don't know what the W is for. Either way, good morning to you, Evan. What is this? Mike Mills 527 says, "Sean, I am currently winning my office hockey and I'm going to win it all. 1 week left." Well, good luck. I hope you win the hockey pool. I knew what you were talking about. But he then clarified with hockey pool. Big Jeff Fresh says, "Good morning." Good morning to you, brother. What's going on? Logan Roy says, "I'm from Sudbury and I jump in and follow when I have that extra time. Love what you do." Thanks, Logan. Much appreciated. I can't say that I've been to Sudbury before. I don't think I've ever been to Sudbury, but it's one of those things one of those places that we talk about all the time, and I always go, I should go. I should go and see Sudbury. Matthew Channing. This is the comment that I noticed earlier and made mention of. So what's the deal? What is the deal with driving as a G1 unaccompanied without a G-class supervising driver? So it's one of my favorite questions, I got to say. The deal is this. One, it's illegal. You're not licensed. You have learner's permit only, so you have to be supervised. The charge is called G1 Drive Unaccompanied. It's $110, and it comes with a 30-day suspension on your first conviction, a 90-day suspension on your second conviction. On your third conviction, you're kicked out of the graduated licensing program. Poof, gone. All of the time that you put towards getting your license, they disappear, as does all the money, because you're no longer licensed. You have to go reapply and start from scratch. So that kind of sucks. But here's what's even better. You're not insured. If you crash mom and dad's car with a G1 and you're on your own, you're on your own. They're not going to fix the car. They're probably going to deny the claim. They'll probably cover the liability, but they would not cover you and the car. So poof, gone. What else can I tell you? If you borrowed the car from mom, dad, cousin, brother, uncle, whatever, and they knew you didn't have a license, they get a ticket too. Oh yes, they're responsible for allowing someone to drive against the condition of their license. But let's say, they want to say, well, I didn't know they took it. They took it without consent. Then you get charged for criminal charges of take vehicle without consent. So at the end of the day, it's stupid. Like really stupid. Don't do it. Thank you to Josh, my unofficial producer, interprovincial producer. Oh, I come up with a really cool title. Please put a Q in front of your question. Help separate banter from questions. Thank you. And yes, it does. It really does make a difference. When I'm scrolling through, I may miss your question if it doesn't have a Q, and we don't want that. We want to be able to give answers for all the questions. Paul says, good morning, all. Hi, Sean. Good morning, Paul. How are you doing? All right. Oh, and yes, we're making good time so far. But don't spam. Spam is in a can, not in our chat. Thanks again to Akela for my can of spam. We have Thin White Line Interceptor. Ryan, good morning to you. Also, if you're coming in by the magical Instagram, that I don't think is that magical. I mean, if you like Instagram, I guess it's okay, but I don't, except for cat videos, like funny cat, cute things that I watch with my kids. But I'm not a big fan of Instagram. Sorry, Instagram. But the reason I say all this is that your platform is the only platform that doesn't integrate chat. So I can't see you without looking over that screen. And now I see that cop charger. The message says that cop charger. I got pulled over for speeding and the cop let me off with a warning. What exactly is a warning and does it stay on my record? That's a good question. And I'm glad I looked over there to see it. The deal is with warnings, it depends. If I say to you, sir, slow down, don't speed, you're going to get into trouble and you might hurt yourself, have a nice day, and that's all that I do, that's a verbal warning. Nothing goes on your record. There may be a record that I stopped you, but there's no recorded interaction that says I gave you a warning. So it's like nothing ever happened. However, if I give you a piece of paper that says provincial offenses warning on it, that is a printed warning and that stays in our system forever. And that means that when somebody else pulls you over, they will see that you got that warning. And that will likely be the only time you get that warning because anyone who pulls you over and sees that there's already a warning on file for an offense will likely proceed with a ticket. And if you met me, you probably just got the ticket because I don't buy into warnings. I did, and then people got pulled over again by me for the same offense a year later, and I said, you know what? It's not working. I'm just going to give tickets, and you can go to court and explain it to them. So that's my thing. That's my belief. That's how I go. But I'm glad you asked the question, and I hope that answers your answer. He says, thank you so much. You're very welcome. I'm going to have to look over at Instagram. Take everything back because it was a good question. Okay. Somebody says, I don't know what they're talking about. Somebody ruined the country, all sorts of problems. I don't know what he's complaining about. Okay, I mean, I know people want to complain about stuff, but yeah. Moving on. What do we got here? You guys need to arrest? No, okay. We're not talking politics. I get it. People are upset with the politicians. They're politicians. That's pretty normal. But we don't talk about that stuff. Big Skrilladilla says, good morning from Labrador. Good morning to you. Hey, wherever you are, say hello. Let me know where you're from so I know where you're from. Liam says, how you like in Alberta? Are you talking to me or? I'm in Toronto. I'm not in Alberta. I haven't been to Alberta in a long time. But I've got friends in Alberta. Shout out to Safe Communities. How you doing? In Brooks, Alberta. I think I have a Brooks, Alberta hat or pin somewhere, challenge coin, something really close by. Because my buddy Logan, who's out there writing tickets, saving lives and whatnot, is over there doing his thing. And we got to get him back on the show. Remember Logan, the man with the beard? He's got an excellent beard. Okay. Akela Draconis, greetings and salutations from Akela, and of course to all of you as well. We got here a quote from Akela for later, and of course a dad joke. If you got dad jokes, throw them in there. Label them as dad joke, and I'll save them for the end of the show, and we will chat about them. We will share them. It's so good. Oh, if I theoretically install a radar detector and laser jammer, do you know from your car? So a light doesn't go off to say that you have it in there, but if you're using it, we do have this whole deductive reasoning thing where we observe your behavior and determine that you have stuff in your car that you shouldn't. And based on that suspicion, we can pull you over, we can search your vehicle, and we can seize that equipment and charge you. So no light goes off, no major warning. There are pieces of equipment available that do notify us of certain equipment. We don't use that. We use our eyes and our senses and all that stuff. It's actually pretty easy to detect if you know what you're looking for. Oh, M48 person who is spamming. Come on, lay off. Where are you? I don't want to block you, but I will. I might mute you, though. Maybe it's easier on my phone. Stand by. We'll see if you haven't stopped. If you haven't stopped, we will stop you. We'll wait till you do it again. All right. Oh, okay. Leave your... We talked about this. What if someone is drifting on video? Can you guys do anything? So here's the deal. Drifting on video is not on its own enough to lay charges. If we can identify the person who's drifting, if we can identify the name, date, the vehicle in question, if we can identify the time and location. Did I say that already? Anyway, we have to have a number of elements in order to lay a charge. Generally, we don't have enough information from a video, but we do take those reports. It does build up a file, and eventually we do find ourselves arresting those people. Yeah. So it's good to make those reports, and definitely send us your videos. Does auxiliary need OACP? And the answer is no. There's no OACP certificate that I'm aware of for auxiliary. I was auxiliary. It was just an application. You go to the college. It's not the same thing. It's not the same as applying for a full-time job. Auxiliary is a great way to volunteer. We'll talk about it in about 10 minutes, talking about employment stuff as we get to the halfway point of the show. But auxiliary is fantastic. I did it for 12 years while I was simultaneously working as a court officer. I wholeheartedly endorse auxiliary service. Great way to serve your city while you're doing other things. You may not want to be a police officer. You may not want to leave your career or whatever you're doing, schooling. It's a great way to serve. Now, I don't think there's a class going in right now. They're not hiring for a class. They are hiring for a whole bunch of stuff, but not that. And I will be doing an episode next week. I can't remember if we said if it was going to be Thursday or Tuesday. But either way, I'll let you know. I have an auxiliary officer, a friend of mine, coming to join us, and he is going to be here for the live stream, and we're going to do a podcast episode talking about what it's like to be an auxiliary officer from a different perspective, as is not mine, because it's been a long time since I did it. All right. Rabo wants to know, electric scooters in the GTA, are they allowed on the road? Do operators need helmet ID if stopped? Okay. This is a good question. So you are... In Ontario, there is a pilot for electric scooters. You're talking about scooters being stand-up scooters, not talking about e-bikes that are sit-down that look like a scooter but have electric power. Just want to differentiate. Either way, the laws and restrictions and rules and whatnot are all listed on links that I have at TrafficCop.ca. So go to TrafficCop.ca. You can go see it from the horse's mouth. But at the same time, you are considered a bicycle if it's a compliant device. So if it meets the requirements to qualify as an e-scooter in Ontario, and you're in a jurisdiction that allows it. So in Toronto, currently, you're not allowed to have it. You cannot have an e-kick scooter in Toronto that is electric power. That's what an e-kick scooter is. They're not allowed, $110 fine. But you do need to identify because you're on a motor vehicle in Toronto. Outside of Toronto, you are riding something that is considered or treated as a bicycle if it's compliant. Either way, a cyclist needs to ID. You don't have to have a card, an ID. You don't have to have a driver's license, but you have to provide your name, date of birth, address, and whatnot to satisfy the officer that you are who you say you are. You do need a helmet. You must be 16 years old. What else? That's pretty much it. But are they allowed on the road? In jurisdictions where they are legal, yes, they are. In fact, they're not allowed on sidewalks. All right. Check on the stolen cars. This is a comment from Edits 50505. I don't work on stolen cars. I work at traffic safety programs doing educational content about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. But there are people who are working diligently on stolen car stuff. Just not me. Brandon, good morning. He says, good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late to the game today. Let's have an awesome day. And to you too. Absolutely. All right, we got Ruth says, good morning. I can't stay. Just want to thank you for always being there to protect us. Well, thank you very much. I'm actually not doing much protecting unless education counts, being that I'm not on the road. But the folks that do go out on the road every single day are awesome, and they work hard to keep the public safe and to keep the roads safe in general, not just from protecting them from criminals, but protecting them from drivers who are putting others' lives at risk. Big Chief YYZ says car theft, car theft, car theft, car theft. I think you want to talk about car theft. When will it be taken care of? It is a major problem. Why is this thing updating? It is a major problem. Sadly, it's not something that's going away anytime soon. We can't just snap our fingers and fix it. We have to catch all the people involved, and it's major networks, and one person gets arrested, more people start into the business because there's a vacuum. You catch one, another one jumps into place to make the money that the other one's no longer making. So it's a problem. It's a problem. It's technical. It's complex. And many ranks above me are working hard to try and resolve it. All right. I'm looking for... Oh, M48 doesn't stop talking. Stand by. See, I used to have many moderators who would just ban people for me. They would mute them. But unfortunately, it's just me now. Can I find them? Is this going to be... Let's see. Hang on a second. I don't want to press this button. I might break the chat. All right. Well, maybe they left again. Maybe they're just bored. All right. To Tampa. LJ's going to Tampa, visiting friends and going to the Leafs Lightning game. Lucky you. I love Florida. I haven't spent time in Tampa in particular, but I do love Florida and go there often. I used to live there, actually. Not in Tampa. Okay. Toronto, what is this? In Toronto, do government plated vehicles get ticketed, and can they be towed or booted? We don't actually have a boot process here that I'm aware of. I've never seen a boot on a vehicle in Toronto. Parking doesn't do that. We'll talk to Erin about that. The fact that, boot or no boot, that is the question. But if a vehicle is in a place it's not supposed to be and it doesn't have an exemption, like police, for instance, or ambulance, not a first responder, then they can be ticketed, towed, all that stuff. You're blocking the way, and first of all, how would we know it's a government vehicle? Because there's no government plates. There's military plates. There's provincial police plates on provincial police cars. I'm not aware of any other government plates. Do you mean like the red plates that are, diplomatic plates? We'd probably still tow them. More people who don't like certain politicians, one in particular. Adam doesn't understand the concept of leaving the keys by the front door. It's not unreal. It's totally real. The reason is simple. Harm reduction. You might be big and tough, but when you're sleeping, you're vulnerable. And if someone breaks into your house looking for your car keys, and they have a pew-pew with them, and they go into your house, and they walk up to your bedroom, and they wake you up and drag you out of bed at the point of the pew-pew, you're in a vulnerable position. And that's what's happening across the country. So we would rather have your keys left at the front door, so pew-pew guy takes your keys and your car, and you are safe. That is the entire reason for that part of the advice. And I say part because that is not the only message. The media totally screwed the pooch on this. They did not give you the whole story. The officer in that clip told the group in that room all sorts of things to try and make the vehicles less attractive for theft. Use the club-type vehicle theft deterrent where you put it across the steering wheel. Use something on the brake pedals to lock that out. Use kill switches and all sorts of bypasses as electronic theft prevention devices where you have to have a combination. There's a ton of things you can do. Take out the fuel pump relay if you want. One person puts a boot in their car. We don't put boots on cars here. But someone bought a boot and puts it on their car themselves to make their vehicle less attractive to would-be thieves. There's now companies advertising bollards that come out of the ground. I mean, I'm expensive, but people are putting them in. Anything to make your vehicle look less attractive to would-be thieves who are lazy plugs who want to take something that they don't earn, steal it, and sell it. So they'll go take your neighbor's car instead of your car because theirs isn't protected and yours is. But leaving the keys is about protecting you, not your car. So thank you, Adam, for letting me rant. It drives me crazy that people misunderstand this. I get it. It's the media's fault, not yours. But it drives me crazy. Venom Inc. says, morning all. Morning. How's it going? What is this? Oh, does rain and heavy fog affect the collaboration of the handheld radars? And then they asked it again. I thought maybe there was a spelling correction, but do you mean calibration? We don't calibrate, we test functionality. There is a fog and rain sensor or button mode, that we would turn on, so it would reduce the range essentially. But it functions, but if it's heavy fog, we're not doing speed measurement in the fog because that's dangerous for us. And if you're speeding in the fog and we catch you speeding, you're being dangerous. You shouldn't be doing the speed limit if your visibility is reduced. You should be slowing down. In rain, driving schools say 10 kilometers under the speed limit at a minimum. You can't drive faster than you can see, or you're not. Well, anyway, let's see here. I got pulled over for no reason, then released. I don't know why. Well, that's red tape asking the question, and I don't know why either because I wasn't there. But let me tell you that there's always a reason. If I pull you over and I have the right as a police officer to pull you over simply to check your driver's license, to make sure you're a licensed driver behind the wheel, I can pull you over to make sure you're sober because that's important. I can pull you over to make sure that the vehicle is insured because that's a legal requirement. And I can pull you over to check the vehicle for safety. Those are the three things that I can always pull you over for. And I don't have to tell you why I'm pulling you over. I just have to pull you over. And I can satisfy my needs based on checking what I was checking. If I have another reason to pull you over, I could rely on those three, or I could tell you the reason. I pulled you over for speeding. I pulled you over because your lights are on. I pulled you over for... But if I pulled you over and I was satisfied that you were in fact licensed, and that's the reason I pulled you over, then I say goodbye. And that's the end of it. Let's see here. So I have a question. This is Nicholas Bonilla. Is it Bonilla or Bonilla? Depends on, I don't know. Okay, so I have a question. Making an U-turn is illegal all of the time, ? I see it way too often, so I have to... It got cut off. It's not illegal unless there are specific locations that you're in, like on a curved crest of grade where there's no visibility, at a tunnel, viaduct, bridge, or railway crossing within certain proximity. If there's a sign prohibiting it, then it would be illegal to do. But it's not illegal at all times. It's illegal conditionally. Otherwise, it's legal. It's not safe, and you are totally responsible when you are making a U-turn for whatever happens. Totally responsible. You say it's safe, you look around, you make sure it's safe because it's incumbent on you to make sure it's safe. You make that U-turn, and you cause a collision. Guess it wasn't safe, was it? See how you're responsible? That's how it works. Bush Farm is still bushing around. Hang on a second here. Someone says, go to work. They obviously don't realize I'm at work. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? Amanda V. Amanda V? I don't know which way this goes. Do you have to have your own insurance to drive someone's car? I like how you wrote someone to save characters. Or do you fall into their policy? So in Ontario, and I can't speak to the insurance rules of other provinces, but I believe it's the same. I just can't confirm it. The car is insured, not you. You may be listed on the policy, but the vehicle is what's insured. And when you lend your vehicle, you lend your insurance as well. Now, there may be conditions on that policy. They may say nobody under the age of 25 can borrow your car or we won't cover them. They could deny your claim for violating the agreement that you have as the insured party with the insurance company. That's between you and it's a private situation agreement. In terms of legality, when it comes to policing, as a police officer, if I pull you over and you have somebody else's insurance card that you show me and it's for that car, I accept that. I'm good with that. Hey, it's Erin. You came by with perfect timing. People are like, where is she? She was in the cover art and then she's not here. So there you go. That we were talking about insurance, and those are the headphones. There you go. Do you know? Ashley wants me to know if I know stuff and things. What is this? Why is it a recorded case of dangerous driving is not investigated? Recorded where? Hi, Erin. Let's give you some volume. I'll flag this question. We'll come back. Let's start with, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Happy
Friday.
Happy FriYAY. You missed your intro song.
Oh, no. You played the parking one?
No, I made new ones.
Oh, you made new ones?
I made new ones. And then we have an outro song today.
Oh, well, okay. I can't wait.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to make these all public. They're actually switched on for public consumption on Suno, on my Suno account, so people can listen to them. I have to make a playlist. Cool. It'll be cool. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, any big parking stuff happening?
Not that I can think of. I'm working tomorrow, so watch out.
Oh, be careful.
Yes, I'm working an enforcement callback tomorrow, so I will be out there on the road around the Yonge and Bloor, Yorkville area all day. So if you see me, say hi. But also don't park illegally because you could get a ticket. But in terms of actual news and parking, I have nothing exciting to share.
I got called out. Sam Call M3 says he skipped past my perfectly legitimate question to answer somebody else's question. I didn't see your question. We're like 15 minutes behind. So stick around and we'll answer your perfectly legitimate question when we see it. What was it? Somebody talking about parking. There was a question I had for you yesterday. I can't remember what it was. There was a question somebody asked about parking stuff.
Oh, but you can't remember.
I can't remember. If it comes
Maybe
to
it'll
me,
come back to you.
Hopefully. I'm scrolling back. I see it's a different person. I was scrolling down because there's somebody I got to block, and I can't find them in the chat.
Yeah.
So this is the joy. Occasionally, someone makes themselves, interesting enough to actually want to block. At very least, mute. Oh no, it's not them. Oh man. Okay. Let's move on. Good morning. I can't stay. Oh, we've been here. I scroll back too far. So Ruth can't stay. That's that's a question or a statement I've already seen. We talked about this. I'm looking for flagged questions. Here's one. Okay. This was the question that I was leaving off at is why is a recorded case of dangerous driving not investigated? You may think it's dangerous. Dangerous is a criminal offense. It's very serious. If you provided sufficient information to officers to investigate and lay charges, then we would. But we can't just look at a video of a car not knowing who the driver is and lay charges. So an investigation based on the quality of the information provided continues. Let's see here. Are laser jammers legal? What are the repercussions? Anything that prevents police from measuring speed is illegal. So that is illegal. $170 fine. Demerit points are a thing. We get to search your vehicle based on the belief that you have it in your vehicle, and we get to dismantle your vehicle to remove it. Very often I find that if I say, hey, I have a screwdriver or a multi-tool, I'm going to go find it, the person just hands it over.
Good.
Usually. But we have full right to search your vehicle and all persons in the vehicle whilst looking for the device simply based on the belief that you have it, which is pretty wild, right? Let's see here. So this is the allegation that I skipped a valid question, but I don't see their question. So I call baloney. Yeah,
maybe it didn't go through properly.
It may not have gone through. Ask the question again, Sam, and I'll do my best to respond to your question. But by the way, basic questions or not, they're questions. But I do look forward to seeing what you have to ask since you're so eloquent. What do we have here? We talked about this. We talked about that. Can you pass in a double solid line? We've been talking about this for years because Ontario is weird, right? We are the only province that doesn't have a law about crossing lines. It really messes with people because you can cross through a line and not get it.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, I bet we've talked about this over the years as well, but it was under my impression that if it's a white solid line, you are to not pass that.
So I got to tell you that once upon a time I stumbled. I was on the Jerry Agar show, and I said exactly that. The yellow's cautionary and white is law. And that was because in my mind I was conflating signs.
Okay.
The yellow signs are cautionary, white signs are regulated.
That's.
But I actually screwed myself up. In fact, if you read your handbook, yellow lines mean that the people on the other side of the yellow line are coming at you, opposite direction. White line means you cross it, they're going the same direction. So next time you're on the road, pay attention to the color of the line, and you'll see what I'm saying. But the ones that are on the highway, when you're all going the same direction, are all white.
That's true, yeah.
So, but there is no law, yellow or white, from crossing. However, if you cross the line and cause a collision, you are responsible. Bazinga. I love it. I also like Bazinga.
I haven't heard that in a while.
No, I haven't either. It came out of nowhere. What are you guys doing for the car meeting in Vaughan? I live in Toronto. I'm a Toronto cop, but I'm not going to go to Vaughan.
We do not enforce there unless they invite us.
Well, sometimes we do.
Maybe
we sometimes do joint operational stuff. But this is a major problem. Now, I got to say, car meeting is not against the law. Getting together and hanging out, having coffee at Tim's, looking at one another's cars.
Yeah, I've seen that all the time.
High-fiving each other because you're all awesome. That's fine. doing burnouts and destroying property and putting people's lives at risk.
Blocking a highway,
Doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's illegal. That's stunt driving. That's criminal trespass. That's all sorts of things. We get serious about that. So, shout out to the Netherlands and FriYAY. FriYAY, is that? Are we going to assume that's the translation of the number and letter? I think so. FriYAY. Howdy. How's it going? Welcome to the show. Good morning from British Columbia. Awesome. What's going on, Steph Frankie? I love it when we have people from all over Canada and the world watching. That's awesome. We had someone from Australia yesterday. I think it was yesterday. We've had people from New Zealand. No, I said, was there anybody from New Zealand? There was nobody from New Zealand yesterday. But I have had New Zealand. I've had Kiwis watching before. Oh, do the police still teach traffic safety to school kids, bicycle rodeos, etc.? They do. Star Wars Cop is one of those cops who does that kind of stuff. I'm not involved with that very much, but divisional police officers very often do things like that. And it's in cooperation with other outside agencies sometimes. I know there's been a lot of support. A lot of support.
Bicycle rodeos. What's that?
So, really? You never been involved in that? You should.
No.
You gotta call Star Wars Cop because they give helmets to kids. They teach them on bicycles that are loaned and or donated, and they set up and teach them the rules of the road. They teach them hand signals and how to put on a helmet properly. All the good stuff that you need to know if you're going to ride a bicycle.
That's awesome.
And shout out to Star Wars Cop who has done huge things in that area. Holy smokes! Lots of stuff coming in. Lots and lots and lots of. By the way, if you're watching, this is Erin Urquhart, also known as TPS Bike Cop _Bike Cop. Do I have your heart? Not Bike Cop.
I know. Everyone calls me a bike cop, but I'm like, I'm not a cop, but I'll take it.
But I think you need to get promoted. I'd like to see you transition over to police constable, just because get you.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
They're hiring.
They are hiring, and they're hiring special constables too. There's lots of opportunities.
They are.
Let's talk about those opportunities.
Perfect segue into that.
It's a perfect segue. It's like I planned it or something. TPS.ca/careers. That is where you can get information about all the different positions. Have you seen how many jobs they're posting right now?
I have actually. The TPS recruiting Instagram is like just popping off with posts about it.
Popping off.
So
hey, I know that person.
Hey, yeah, that's me.
So
I'm all over that website.
Like right here in particular, right in the middle, famous people on this channel, absolutely. Here's where you get information. So police constable, special constable, these are the main headings. If you go to police constable, you get all the information about applying. You got a big old button there that says apply now. You actually press that button to apply. I know it's shocking. If you go down, you can get information such as the requirements and all the things you can expect as a police officer. The fact that you're going to be out in the rain and the snow, in not so nice conditions sometimes, but it is awesome. It is the best job on earth as far as I'm concerned. You can find out what you get paid. Did you know that while you're a cadet in training, while you're still learning to be a police officer, $68,864. That's your salary. Obviously not paid in one shot. And as a bonus, like I had to pay to go to police college. Sergeant Campbell didn't. It was free back then. Then I had to pay, and now it's more than I had to pay, except last year the Premier said that Ontario would absorb it. $15,000 is what it costs to go.
Wow.
And there's no charge right now. So that's like a $15,000 signing bonus on top of that cadet and training package because I paid for it over time.
Yeah.
I got that interest-free or low-interest loan, and it came off my paycheck until it was gone. But $15,000 not having to pay?
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Once you graduate, you get your badge, your gun, you go to a police station, you're making $76,500. Now, that takes a year and a bit to go through each stage. Third class constable, $87,476. Second class constable, $98,409. First class constable, $109,338. And we're in negotiations right now. We're going to be going up from there. So you could.
I hope we are too.
I think everybody.
I think we are
hopes.
getting a negotiation as well. Yeah.
I think
contract negotiation.
It's got to. Cost of living's going up.
Yeah.
You get some benefits. These are good benefits, really good benefits. Yeah. But you know what's better than benefits? Being part of an organization that is a good organization where you get to do different types of jobs. Like we're media relations officers, both of us. I used to be in the motor squad. I worked in the detective office. I've worked as a primary response officer. I've done all sorts of stuff. It never gets boring. Like every day, regardless of whether you're in parking or police constable status, you don't know what you're going to run into and what's going to come your way.
Every day is different. say, well, we're not currently hiring in parking right now, but it's the same deal. We have a ton of different specialized units. You know, a lot of behind the scenes work happens in parking enforcement that a lot of people are not aware about, and those people are really hardworking as well, and it's a great job too. So tons of opportunity.
We are hiring special constables. See right on the screen there, special constable. They do different jobs. Like we have booking officers that work in divisions to deal with prisoner, booking. Then we have what I used to do, court officer status, where you're actually doing courthouse security, prisoner transportation, and stuff like that. Then there's divisional officers that are out on the road, assisting with crime scenes and managing all sorts of stuff, taking statements, doing reports. We have you mentioned parking.
Hey, who's that?
I know her. Parking enforcement. So this is all sorts of stuff about the requirements for parking, but there is no current opening. Comms operator, the folks who answer 911 calls, the dispatch police officers. That's a thing. That's actually an excellent and important thing, and a tough job that they don't get nearly enough recognition for. And then I love pressing this button. 9 jobs. 1 closed yesterday. Oh, wow. Okay, there were 10 yesterday. Help desk analyst is a job that is an opening. I don't know what the requirements are. Let's find out. If you want to be a help desk analyst, you can make $84,200 to $93,995 working shift work, so it's days, afternoons, and midnights on rotation. You have to apply by the 24th. And let's see, what can you expect? What will you do? I was on the phone with them this morning. They were fixing my printer problems, which kind of didn't get fixed because I think the printer's broken.
Yeah.
They're going to send help. Education, 2 years IT related experience, 6 months of recent demonstrated work. Okay, they got to know stuff and things. And you get more information. I pressed the wrong button. Hang on. I didn't want to get out of the whole thing. I wanted to get out of that description. We're looking for a manager, talent acquisition. We talked about special constables, senior programming or programmer, Java. We have the Yippee program, which is a great temporary part-time school program for kids where they're making money for young persons, not kids. You're young persons. The youth. Senior analyst, capital projects, analyst in research and valuation, communications operator, and developer in the digital team. These are things that we need, and it helps keep the police service going. Without it, we can't do what you see yourself? See, that was last time.
Yes.
I think it was last time. In any case, let's get back to some questions. But if you've got friends who might fit the bill, or if you're interested, definitely check out the offerings on our website. And it changes all the time. You got to keep up to it. If it's not today, check it out. What is this? Is it legally if the color brightness of your headlights are different? Yes. You have a range of color. It has to be white or yellow. It can't be blue. Some really, really white lights actually fall into the spectrum of blue.
Oh.
They're not legal. You can't have purple, green, or it has to be yellow or white.
I've seen purple.
Yeah, I saw purple yesterday on DVP heading southbound while I was heading northbound. They had full-on driving lights that were purple. Maybe we saw the same car.
Maybe. I didn't see it yesterday, but somewhere.
Canuck Canoe Catfishing talks about something I've talked about since I was a kid. If criminals have guns to steal, why can't citizens have guns to protect themselves? Because we're in Canada. I lived in Florida, and I'm very familiar with self-defense, firearms, and the laws and all the stuff they have there. They have constitutional carry. You don't even need a permit anymore in Florida. They believe so strongly in home defense and self-defense. But we're the peaceful Canadians up here, and don't get me started. Hi, can you answer my question, please? I need to know the question. That is a question. Yes, I can answer your question, but you have to ask me the question. It's possible that it has gone off the top and I can't get to it because the buffer of questions is only so long. And yeah. How long does my speeding ticket stay on your record? 3 years from the date of conviction. Points stay 2 years from the date of the offense. 2 different clocks with different consequences. But the speeding ticket stays on your record for 3 years from the conviction date, whether that's when you pled guilty or when you were found guilty. So if you pay it, you're found guilty, that's when it starts. Okay, scrolling back. Scrolling. This is the one complaint I have is having that I can't just. Yeah. It really bugs me that
I wish we had a million eyes to see all of the questions.
Oh, and I do my best not to skip.
Photographic memory.
I would love a
screenshot them in
memory.
our brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
What is this? I love that boomers can soup up their cars, but millennials are evil. Well, at least you know that millennials are. No, I'm kidding.
Hey.
Boomers can't soup up their cars more than millennials can. I think that taste has a lot to do with it. When boomers soup up a nice car, it doesn't usually sound like it's farting as you drive. I think that's the biggest thing. When you put something that sounds good, nobody cares. And you also know that the boomer, and boomer is just derogatory for old. They don't even know what a boomer is.
I know.
The boomers aren't doing this anymore. Boomers are not, but the next generation, that I might be part of, it's different. We're making cars that sound nice, that go nice, and then we're not dumb enough to do stupid things behind the wheel. Okay, it's not true. Occasionally we get some 40, 50, 60-year-olds doing stunt driving stuff.
Having a midlife crisis.
Oh, gosh. But it's not an age thing. It's a behavior thing. If you make yourself a target, like your car might be loud, but if you drive respectfully, you probably haven't got a ticket. But if you do bonehead stuff with your bonehead car, you're going to get bonehead tickets. It's just they all match up. And I'm making fun. And I'm having I hope you can have a sense of humor. Yeah. Because you started it. Nana boo boo. Yeah. Okay.
I love that.
What is this? Yeah, I've ignored chat for the most part. The spammers are just too annoying. Yes, we've had a lot of spammers today. We have one in particular, and every time I want to block them, I can't find them.
Is it on TikTok or Twitch?
I
guess
TikTok. It's everywhere.
It's all under one.
Noah really likes my comment about farting cars. I see it in the it does. It's a fart can. Notably, or most notably, or regularly found on old Honda Civics when I was in high school. Ronak says, "You are outstanding. Thank you so much for all you and your brothers and sisters in uniform do. Thank you very much, Ronak." Let's see here.
I see a parking question in this.
Go for it. If you see it, go for it.
Yeah, it's what we've talked about all the time here, and it's definitely the season. Actually, I'm going to make a video about this today. The question was, what are the rules for motorcycle parking on the street in Toronto?
That's the question we had yesterday. I wanted to make sure it hadn't changed.
There we go. So yeah, it's the same. And there's actually some areas that are designated for motorcycles and scooters only. So actually car vehicles are not able to park there. But motorcycles can park anywhere. Let me eat my words, not anywhere. They can park in green P on-street areas. So anywhere where you have to pay for parking on the street. They're exempt from the payment. But any other bylaw is they can get a ticket other than the time defenses. So if it's 1 hour, 2 hour street parking, I believe they get 24 hours there as well. I think. Let me double check on that, but I'm pretty certain that's the case. I don't think I've ever chalked a motorcycle and came back an hour later and tagged it.
Well, there you go. And Daniel Svok. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Svok. TSVOK. Daniel Tvok.
Okay.
He loves motorcycles. Or they love. I shouldn't have assumed. By the way, goodbye to who's been spamming. I caught you. You're blocked. You can stop offending people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ya's being a real fun person. Chris says Montreal and waves a flag. Hey, how's it going? If I find you, I will ban you if you're being bad. I just be nice. Be kind. Rewind.
Charge that energy somewhere else, that negative energy.
Yeah, this is FriYAY. It's a party. Wait, hit the party button.
Oh, that was the same person we had up before. Can you please answer my question?
Yeah, again, but just not answering or asking the question. Big Red was talking about red and white plates. Red and white plates, aren't those dealer plates? Why am I thinking?
Red, so they're either with the red background with the white is diplomatic, and the white background with the red font is dealer.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. So it depends on which red and white we're talking about. Let's see here. Do you enjoy...
They're both not exempt, by the way, for parking.
They're not? Okay, good. Because we kind of talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
And boom, boom, boom. Pete says, maybe just do your job. I do my job every day.
We're doing our job. Newsflash, buddy. This is our job.
Doing the job right now. Okay. We should have... Oh, yeah. I cannot canoe catfishing. I hear you, my man. Okay. What is this? After one person was giving Ronak a hard time, the response, I think, is appropriate. From my experience, only those who break the law will we speak ill of our law enforcement. Yeah, our biggest critics are people who don't like getting tickets and caught or don't like being told what to do. You don't have to like police. Everyone has their own experiences, and maybe they had a bad one, and I'm sorry if that's the case. Not sorry because I didn't do anything wrong, but if you had your feelings hurt or you were offended that someone said, don't speed and give you a ticket. I mean, everyone has feelings and you're entitled to them. How about you just do police work? Okay, again, this is police work. Sorry to burst your bubble. This is an important thing we do. Traffic education, parking education, all of these things are important because they help the city flow, and it really goes to safety. Could you imagine if people just left their cars, if you weren't doing what you did?
Oh, yeah.
What would happen?
No one would be going anywhere. It would be chaos. I always refer back to, when we were in a complete lockdown during COVID and we weren't enforcing because there was no need to. There was no traffic. Everyone was locked inside their homes. But then when the city started slowly opening up, you know how many calls we got for enforcement? And people were like banging on our door, like, come ticket people on my street. So
people want people who violate to be. There's the people who call us about noise complaints for the fart cans. There's the people who want their streets because they can't park on streets because people are parking.
Because they have residential streets with permits and people take them without permits. Yep, it's
blocking
a huge
roads
issue.
during the major rush hour routes. Like there's so many reasons that we need to keep people in line. And if you just followed the rules, we wouldn't have anything to do. So you want to put us out of business? Follow the law. Don't defund us. Follow the law. And the defund thing is a hilarious suggestion. I mean, there's no way. We do very important work, all of us. Let's see. Oh, Joel says, I have seen a couple of people put a boot on their own car to deter thieves. Have you seen this? Because I've been hearing about it.
A boot on their own car?
So
like on their tires?
Yeah, like parking boots. Like, Parking Wars?
Yeah. I know exactly. I thought you were talking. I've seen like the
like
steering wheel club.
Yeah.
I remember actually when I was a kid in the
90s. That was the thing.
Yeah.
When I was in high school,
my car did get, not my car, but my parents' car, it did get stolen when we were kids and we found it.
You know what doesn't happen
anymore?
To a crisp. No way.
Yeah, we found it. Whoever stole it took it for a joyride and set it on fire.
Do you know what's crazy?
No one does that anymore.
Alarm systems. Who has an alarm system as a secondary defense on their car? Like you have your key fob or your whatever came in. If you actually open your car because you forgot, like you left the window open and you unlocked it, you open it, it goes, it opens it. But it's not an alarm system, not really. I remembered everyone in high school, you walk towards a car and it would say, step back, step back.
Yeah.
They had proximity radar systems. Like nobody invests in that anymore. And I think it's just because no one wants a second keychain remote. I had a pager on mine. It would beep if someone in the parking lot touched my car. And that was sort of like the unofficial get out of school, like, I got to go check out my car. And my friend was standing there going, yeah, it took you long enough, But it's a different day. Maybe we all need alarm systems. Maybe that kind of response or noisemaker would actually help deter auto theft. I don't know.
I don't know, but they're getting bold.
They've been bold for a long time. They're out of control now.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to, what I like a lot, and I wish this was something that was available on every car, are built-in cameras like the Teslas have. That Sentry mode, like when you walk up, it starts recording you, is awesome.
My question, I maybe you would know this about Teslas. Like, do they have a GPS function that like just automatically would record like a route or? So say like I'm talking about like if a thief like steals your car, like does it track it unless it has like just an internal tracker?
I don't know.
Maybe cars should invest in those.
But they kind of sort of do. Like you talk about all the stuff from GM, that's all trackable. But it's a whether or not. Akela said hi, by the way, and so does Julie. I don't know how that works, and I don't know if we have to get warrants to get that information. So here's a question. Here's a question from before I block them. Can I carry pepper spray to protect myself from gangs matching boots and uniforms? So this is an idiot. So this person actually, I'm glad I blocked them, wants to know if they can use pepper spray and then suggests that police and military are gangs. Okay. I'm glad I banned you. But the deal is that you are permitted to have pepper spray in the form of dog or bear repellent for use against dogs or bears. But if you use a noxious chemical against a human, you can be arrested and charged, even if you're using it in self-defense. And there is something called weapon of opportunity, and it's in the criminal code. And if you have a pencil in your hand and someone tries to attack you and you go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And you say, oh, I have a pencil. And you stab them with the pencil. It's a weapon of opportunity. You didn't carry the pencil as a weapon. It's a pencil. Yeah. But you used it as a weapon. You're probably still going to get charged, but you have a whole thing that goes with that. There's law. Let's see here. Oh, Linda says, hi, pretty blonde hero.
Thanks, Linda. You're too kind.
Sam says it's really delayed. Yes, 30 minutes delayed is when we're busy like this. Absolutely. Chris Bunny, is that how you're using the X to? Anyway, I use you as ASMR while I drive. I hope you're doing that. Well, you're doing it live. Otherwise,
if you're
you should not be
listening,
driving
yeah.
right now if you're texting us. But but I appreciate you. What you should do if you're using TikTok is close the screen so you're not looking at us, because you can, when watching a live or listening to a live, turn off the screen and listen only audio wise. I don't know how that impacts your data, but still, we have a podcast. We actually synchronize this to the podcast platforms, and you can listen to us without breaking the law or burning your data. Chris says, I have eye problems. LED headlights make it impossible for me to drive at night. Feels very unsafe. I don't have a good solution for you. LED lights are super bright, brighter than we've ever seen before, but they should be meeting legal requirements if they're being sold here. Now, that's if they're factory. If they're aftermarket, you could be running into problems.
I do find they're very bright too.
And misdirected. Very often they're misdirected. Okay. Do chickens have large talons? I don't know. I haven't got an answer for this one.
Oh my gosh! We are behind because this person is I guess before
I banned them.
Yeah, it was from 10:37, so that was a good.
I see, but Sam Call M3 actually told him we're 20 minutes delayed. It happens. I was given a ticket while paying for my parking because the meter was down the street. Okay, so what happens? You get to a meter, or you get to a meter, it's non-functioning. You go down the next street and pay that one. Does that absolve you of a ticket?
No. If the meter is down, you're still not to park there, to be honest. Just because the meter is not working doesn't mean it's free parking.
Well, no, but they paid somewhere. They paid the wrong place.
So that's your fault. Sorry, if you paid at the wrong location and it's a non-transferable payment, unfortunately, and I see that happen quite often, or people put in their plate improperly, and that's essentially it's absolute liability. It's your responsibility to make sure you're paying at the right location and inputting all the information properly.
So you might be able to go to court or explain it away.
Yeah.
But that's a pain in the butt.
It's up to the city whether they're going to give you grace and be like, all right, you had good it's up to them. I can't make that call.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not like you're there to enforce the rules.
Yeah.
It's a violation of the rules. Even if you see what's going on, how much discretion is there? Like as a police officer, I can choose whether I'm going to lay a ticket or not. And maybe if the person comes out and says to you, "Hey, this is what I did,"
that's happened.
That's different.
Where I've been in the midst of writing the ticket and someone's been like, "Oh no, but I've paid," and I'm like, "Okay, well, can you pull up their app?" And they had intention to pay, or maybe they're pulling my leg. I don't know, but they didn't press the double confirm button.
Oh,
and that's an app thing. I don't know. They updated the app a while ago, and they never had that.
I prefer the app the way it used to be. I don't like the new app.
It was much easier. I'm not going to lie, but
Toronto.
We are not responsible for that. We're not the developers of that app. But it depends. But if I have seen people who literally put 3 digits of their license plate in, and I'm like, well, come on.
You could do better.
Yeah. And a lot of the times I've had license plates that are very, very similar on my list of payment. So I'm like, I don't know, did they mess up, or is it just a very similar plate?
Hey.
Oh, we got another visitor.
Just a quick, have a good weekend.
Oh, you're out of here?
Had a good weekend to everybody else. I've got
Sergeant Campbell wishes everyone a great weekend and is hitting the road.
I got an investigation to do.
Investigations. Yeah, it's serious police stuff. We'll see you on Monday.
Doing police work, guys.
Yes, they wanted to make sure we were doing police work, so he's taking care of it for all of us, actually. Tweep says, Erin is awesome. We know that.
Thank you.
Let's see here.
You're awesome for saying that.
Well, we're all awesome here, except for
Yeah. I saw another
Oh, yeah.
a bad comment up there. I wonder if it was kind of a sexist comment.
I saw one like that too. I ignored it immediately.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We talked about this. We already addressed the government plates, no exemptions. There's no exemptions for any government plates. Like a police car, you wouldn't tag in tow because it's doing police work.
Yeah.
But is there diplomatic plates? You still tag in tow.
I usually, there's a driver sitting in them, but I have ticketed diplomatic plates, or I tell the driver to skedaddle, move your car, please.
Move it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to give a warning.
In some offenses, and like in a no parking zone, if someone's sitting in their car, I will ask them to move. If they, refuse to move, then you're getting a ticket. Give you a courtesy asking you to move.
I love this question. Sierra Christine Calleri wants to know, do police click no police when they see one on Waze? I do. I do it all the time. But I have to say that sometimes if it's a really dangerous spot and they're doing an accident, investigating a collision, I want them to be seen. I want people to change their behavior for their safety. If they're doing speed enforcement, I absolutely click no police because I'm that guy. I want people to get caught. I want driver behavior to be changed. I want people to be safer as a result of that ticket, to change their behavior. So I strongly believe in it, enforcing the laws. This is a great question from Evie. Is it Viving? I'm always interested to know what the name.
Evil. I'm going to assume.
No, it's not evil. It's,
electric vehicle living.
oh, maybe. Does the laws in Ontario extend out of province or to out of province drivers, i.e., tints, northern winter tires, etc.? So the northern winter tires business, when it's studied, there, if you live in northern Ontario, you have an exemption. You can use them for a period of time when you're in southern Ontario, but you can't stay here. And then if you're from another province or another place where it's legal, you can come in for 30 days for the tires. For tints, there's no exception. If your vehicle is so dark that it is something that is considered unsafe, well, unsafe is unsafe. We won't let it on our roads. You can't be here. So you may find yourself getting charged. But it all depends. And it also depends on discretion. If I find someone from New York who drove in and like, I'm here for a game, and everything is all good, otherwise, maybe they don't get a ticket, maybe they do. It really depends. And I couldn't predict a consistent answer on that for you because it depends on the officer investigating. Tyler says, good morning from Alberta. Been watching you since we moved away from Ontario 2 years ago.
Oh.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad that we keep bringing a little bit of Ontario to. Well, but we're also like memories of home.
Yeah.
So there's a nostalgia. But I'm really thankful that you stuck with us, and hopefully we can get my Alberta buddy to come in and do more with us, so you can get some tips that actually relate to laws over by where you live. Now, how is Alberta? I've been fielding calls from people saying you got to come move here. It's awesome.
I love it out there.
Yeah?
Well, I have family out there. Well, they're in Edmonton, but yeah, it's pretty.
I have family in Edmonton too.
Yeah, and the Rocky Mountains out in Banff and Jasper are just
Banff is so
stunning.
beautiful.
I love them.
If a cop stops someone doing 30 over the limit, is it his call whether to give him a citation or not? We have discretion. We can always give a warning. We can reduce. We have all sorts of options. Stunt driving is not one of them. Like I would never. That's not true. I gave one break on stunt driving. I would never do it again based on that one person. I gave someone a break. They said, it's my second day at a new job. I just graduated. I'm a therapist and the mascara is running down her face. And it was the worst ugly cry I'd ever seen. So I bought it. I bought it a hook, line, and sinker. And it may have been legitimate. But I went to court and they came to court. They sent an agent to court to try and get a better deal. I already saved them the tow. I didn't impound their vehicle. I didn't suspend their license. They were doing 94 in a 40.
Oh my goodness.
And I gave them a break because I was a sucker. And I should not have. Like I only reduced it by just under.
Yeah.
So it was 49 over. It was before the new laws. But I would never do that again. That person should have learned their proper lesson instead of wasting taxpayer money going to court. But anyway, that's just me.
I see. What's the saying? You give them. You give an inch, they take a mile?
I don't know, but once bitten, twice shy. I don't know.
So is that the same question from Jacob up there that we answered? Because I feel like
yes,
I misanswered
it is. No,
that.
it's the same one. Oh, did you? I just released it from hold. So
that's okay. Well, I'll re-answer it. So sorry. If it's on the same street, because it said it was just up the street. If it's on the same street and it's the same location ID, the officer should be checking the meter to see if someone's actively paying, which if that's the case, and if you did pay and the ticket's at the same time you paid, just show proof of the payment and they should be able to cancel the ticket.
We got a lot of people. We got 156 people in the live right now. It's nice.
Hello.
On TikTok alone, we've got another 104 people mixed amongst primarily on traffic services on.
Oh, there's some on YouTube.
On X is the largest number, but yeah, we have people on YouTube. We've got people on Facebook. We've got someone on Twitch. So hello to everybody. Just so you know, X, you can also talk to us. You can leave comments by entering the live stream and entering questions into the chat in the live stream, different than like a comment on a post. So jump in, ask questions, participate. The show's better when you're in it. Okay. This was the same question, but this is rephrased. about going over the speed limit, not just 30. And again, speeding offenses, even minor criminals. There's things we would act like. Obviously, we're not going to give you a break for murder. We're not going to give you a break for spousal assault. If someone steals a chocolate bar, could we not charge them? We could not charge them. It's not a must charge. And they asked it a third time. A very true statement in two parts. Teaching traffic safety to school kids leads to better drivers later in life. And I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
It is so true. I remember Blinky coming to my school when I was a kid. Do you remember Blinky? Was that long after?
I was a kid in Hamilton, so we didn't have Blinky, but
We still have Blinky here.
yeah, my uncle, who is he's retired now, but he was a Hamilton traffic cop, and he used to be a school safety
liaison.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
we talk about that before?
Probably.
So funny thing, I was in an airport and met a lovely couple while waiting to fly to Europe. I was going to the UK to get on a cruise and go all over the place. Oh, you remember that when I went?
Yeah.
And then before I went to your castle.
Right, my Urquhart Castle.
Oh. So the deal is, I met a family, and the gentleman's wife's father was a traffic safety officer from Ontario.
Oh.
He was long retired, but maybe he worked in Toronto, then he went to another service.
Okay.
Anyway, used to do what I currently do, so it was a really small world. I gave him a challenge coin to give to his
Oh, yeah, I think
father-in-law.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah, that's cool. Small world.
Truly. Stefano wants to know about e-bikes. What about e-bikes?
E-bikes.
What is the question?
e-bikes.
How about drivers cut you out to turn right from the left lane when you are waiting for the signal? I don't know if I'm picking out what you're putting down.
Wait, okay. Drivers who cut you off to turn right from the left lane when you were waiting for the signal. So
You're waiting at the curb lane. They decide to turn right in front of you it's an improper turn.
Oh, yeah.
It is illegal. That is not legal. If I saw that, I would pull them over. I would stop them. Someone says, and I love this. So for all the investigators who constantly monitor my channel, get this one. I hate September. Yeah, first of all, September is the best month of the year. And secondly, they have illegal modifications and evade safety. So please go catch them. I'm totally joking. There's nobody watching this channel who cares. Nobody cares. We care when we catch you, but when you're just pretending whatever. Love Erin's videos.
Thank you.
They're good videos. I wish I could be on the road. If I was on the road, I'd make
you would have some pretty cool videos.
And that is the whole. I'm in studio because I can't go outside. I don't carry a firearm. I don't do the patrol thing. I'm not in uniform. I'm in uniform, but I'm not in uniform outside.
Yeah.
And I miss it terribly. Okay. Is driving under the influence of weed illegal? Yeah. Impaired driving is illegal. In fact, having any weed or cocaine or drugs in your system while you're a novice or young driver is illegal. So unless you cannot drive impaired. And the best advice I can give you is don't drive when you're going to consume drugs or alcohol, period. Yeah. She said in her account, a person on delivery can park
on
no parking.
In no parking, but I got two tickets.
I'm glad that we talked about this then.
Okay, so it depends where the no parking was, because things have sort of changed. And again, this is a courtesy. It's a courtesy that we give. It's not written into the bylaw. So if you were in a no parking zone, but you're
eligible,
obstructing the flow of traffic, even though it is a no parking zone, you could still get a ticket. But if it's an arterial road, such as Yonge Street is all no parking on both sides when it's not rush hour. And some areas of Yonge Street, you can't park on a main arterial. I can't talk.
Arterial.
Arterial road.
I will always say arterial.
Arterial. Yes, that road. You can't park in a no parking zones on main roads. I'll just say that. So again, I don't know what you got the tickets for. I always suggest to people appeal them. If you think you didn't deserve the ticket, you have every right to send the email to the city and go through the process and see what happens. But
and speaking of that, I really chastise people who go to court when they're not guilty. Sorry, when they are guilty. If you're guilty and you know you're guilty and now you're going to court just to negotiate down to save $20, you are wasting tax dollars. But if you have a legitimate defense, I support that. You should. If you are wrongly accused, you have the right, and rightfully so, you should defend yourself.
But if you just don't think you should get the ticket, but even though you know you deserve the ticket, Good luck.
Well, but so many people do it. And
Oh,
if you
I
do
know.
that, have the day to deserve. Okay. How many corrupt cops have jobs? I couldn't tell you, because when we find corrupt cops, we bring them to justice. Corrupt cops don't operate with immunity. They are prosecuted. And, well, first of all, they're investigated, prosecuted, suspended. And under the new Police Services Act, if you're a criminal and you're caught, you're going to be suspended without pay. And you're going to be dismissed, as opposed to the old code, which, and I say code being the Police Services Act, didn't allow for a police officer who was, on suspension to be docked pay. So that's being changed, because it's been acknowledged that it's a problem. There are people who are bad guys and girls and need to be off the job and shouldn't be paid while they're being accused. But we do have to protect the people who are doing their job and have, not fruitless is another word I'm looking for. Frivolous, not
Frivolous.
See, frivol, so close. Frivolous allegations against them. They shouldn't be off the job not being paid, because we do our job and someone makes allegations because they don't like being caught. They make up stuff, which is why I love body cameras. Body cameras rock. Video cameras, just all that evidence that supports the police officers doing the right thing. People say they tried to suggest that we were anti-body camera, that we didn't like it because, now we're going to get caught. No, it prevents us from getting those frivolous. Well, actually, we get them, but then we say, "Hey, that thing that you said you did, where in this video that?"
Where did this happen? We got it on proof. We got it.
Love, and
Got the proof.
Love body cams, and I love watching body cams online. Like the state's releases all them all. I think they're amazing.
I wish we had body cams. It would probably save a lot of assaults, but.
Well, I thought I saw a crossing guard yesterday or the day before with a body cam. Something was clipped to his chest.
Oh, really?
I thought, wow, they're giving everybody. They must be getting harassed. Frank says Yonge Street is really long.
It is. It's one of the longest
It's
roads.
the longest road in the world.
Yeah.
It's single. Yeah. Let's see here. Anything wrong with removing emission systems for reliability? It's against the law. You can't remove the emissions controls. They have to be there, and it's bloody expensive. It's over $600 for a fine. Don't do that. Don't do that. Maintain your vehicle properly. Don't chop things out of it. Fix it. Yeah. What is this? I'm not sure what Adam's talking about, but it sounds terrible. What about tinted windows? How dark is illegal? So if we can't see it, if we can't identify, if we can't clearly describe you, if we can't see if you're wearing your seatbelt, using your phone, if we can't see inside, it's obscuring the interior of your motor vehicle. It's a ticket, $110. You might also get the ticket for obscuring driver's view, for not being able to see out properly, $110. If it's over 30% light blockage, it was so dark that it's barely glass, or maybe glass, but it's like opaque. Over 30%, you're looking at an unsafe motor vehicle charge. Will seize your plates. What's the law on modified car exhausts? Well, modifications aren't necessarily illegal, but illegal modifications are. If you're chopping if it's a straight pipe, it's illegal. If it's a bypass system, if it's making noise, you can get an unnecessary noise charge, and you can get the ticket for an improper muffler. $110 for each of those. You gotta have a muffler, and it has to muffle. I know it's a strange concept, but it is the truth. And here's the big thing. A lot of people have modified mufflers that if you were to goose the gas, you would actually make a lot of noise, but they don't. They drive respectfully. And as such, they don't get into a hard time, which leads me to say that it's behavior that's the leading cause of tickets for that. Yeah. Josh gracefully reminds everyone to please put the letter Q before your question to help us identify what's a question and what's not. Can I change my car horn sound?
Good save.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Collect ourselves.
Yes. When I laugh at my own, the deal is that there's no prescribed sound. You're making noise, but you're making noise for a purpose, is legitimate. If you're making noise and harassing people with it or disturbing the community, unnecessary noise would be appropriate.
Teslas, you can change it to
there's so many good, but it's still a horn. Would it be effective? If I heard fart sounds, I probably wouldn't assume a car is careening out of control. So I'm going to suggest that fart sounds are not the ideal sound. I would use a traditional horn sound. In fact, I have air horns on my motorcycle. Like I bought a system when I was in Lake George, New York, at an event called Americade.
Oh, yeah.
And I put dual air horns, and they were bloody loud. And I needed that. You need to be seen. By the way, the concept of loud pipes save lives is absolute baloney. It is not a thing. Doppler effect says you're wrong. Oh. Here's one for you. If sitting in a running vehicle to keep warm while intoxicated but no keys, how is it running if there's no keys?
Yeah.
If you've started the vehicle, that's capable of being driven, whether you take the keys out or not. So you'd be arrestable. Being inside the vehicle with no possibility of starting it, you'll be investigated, I'm sure. But if you truly cannot start that car, there's no way that I can't imagine you being charged. But then you'd be really cold because the engine's not running. What is this? Do detention deputies deserve praise of patrol officers? What do you mean? We don't have detention deputies. So I'm assuming you're somewhere in the United States and you have a sheriff's office that handles prisoner transportation and housing, which is what I used to do. I was a court officer, and we did that. We do a lot of good. Court officers do good work. Special constables do good work. Prison guards do good work. They are charged to do it differently than we do it, but without them, there would be utter mayhem and lives would be lost. There's some scary stuff that they do and that I've seen in my days as a court officer. So yeah, they do deserve praise. Mm-hmm. It's not the same as running into a burning building or running towards the sound of gunfire. But how do you feel about being armed with nothing but maybe a stick and maybe handcuffs or pepper spray, and being in a room full of people in custody and you have to break up a fight? And you're one person for 40 people. They deserve to be knighted or sainted or something. Like I wouldn't do that. When I had to take off my weapons to go into a jail to deal, because you can't bring weapons into a prison environment. No. I tap out. No, I'm not interested. So yeah, they deserve severe, absolute praise. Shout out to my buddies who are actually in.
I have a couple people who I know who were correctional officers, now police officers, and they're like, experience, that's for sure.
Well, and so CO, we were court officers. They called us CO, YO-CO, but we're not corrections officers. We were court officers, and it was really confusing. But COs to COs, we're all good. Why isn't the parking signage posted properly? Why do drivers have to refer to the municipal code? Where? Why?
What are we talking about here? What do you mean?
I don't know. Signage is confusing when it comes to parking. There's some really not so
There
good.
is in Toronto, but you know what? I don't design the sign, so I couldn't answer that. But yeah, you just gotta, and if it is improper signage or conflicting signage, we are to not enforce that, and we're supposed to report that to the city as officers. But I'm about this municipal code. I don't know. I've never had to look up a municipal. I can't talk today.
I do it all the time. We do so much.
Municipal code.
The deal is our brains are just so on fire, going fast, and we can't. Our mouths can't keep up. By the way, I see 14 new followers on TikTok, and just a reminder: if you don't already follow us, please do. We do this Monday to Friday from 10 till whenever. Usually 10 to 11. Obviously, we're at 10:22 right now. We've gone long, which is good. We did 2 hours with Murray a couple days ago, an hour and 45 minutes yesterday. So.
Awesome.
Short weeks, and I try and give you all the value I can if I have the ability to do it. So we talked about this, and if you have a problem with signage, report it to the community, to the police. Report. Oh, actually, no, 311.
Yeah, 311.
311 in Toronto.
They actually have an email reporting system as well to report improper signage, or we call it. We actually have a function on our ticket machine on our handhelds to report. Asset advisories is what it's called.
Oh, really important question. Donut flavor.
See, you know
what? I know without hesitation my answer.
I feel like I know yours too, but I forget. I know isn't it something strawberry? No.
Whose?
Yours? No.
Raspberry.
See, I knew it was some berry.
It was a berry, but specifically a Krispy Kreme raspberry filled. That is my absolute favorite donut, and possibly the only donut I would eat carbs for.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're off the carbs.
I'm shrinking. I don't know if I'm shrinking.
You're shrinking.
I'm shrinking.
Good. Yeah, I want to lend some of that shrinkage over here. No. I'm going to get on my bike more. It'll help.
There you go. It's the season, right?
It is. Once this rain goes away.
That's okay. Today, I'm having difficulty walking today. My right leg is giving me a hard time. Ever since my collision, my right leg gives me problems now and again. In the last 3 weeks, I've had a lot of problems with my right leg. And it's I can't sit down because sitting down hurts more than standing up, which is why I'm standing up more.
That sucks.
Don't get old and don't get hurt because your body doesn't ever get back.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. How many days does one have to fight a speeding ticket? File or fight? So you have 15 days before your ticket's going to get processed, and basically not your lack of response is going to trigger it to go to the next level where they just deem it to be guilty and they'll send you a bill. So you have 15 days to respond. So I guess on day 16 is when it lapses. If you get one, don't put it off. Either choose to fight it or schedule a defense. And if you schedule a defense or an opportunity to meet with a prosecutor in early resolution, you can simply, there's no conviction until that time. But if you don't do anything, you're going to be convicted. And if you want to try and fight it afterwards, you're going to have to go to a justice of the peace at a courthouse and go and apply for the right to reopen.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be done. It's just maybe. Have you ever given a warning in a crazy situation? I absolutely told that story 20 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where I gave someone Are there
well, for us, it doesn't really get too crazy when it comes into issuing
car
a
just
ticket.
parked itself.
I know. well, that could happen these days with these self-driving cars.
It chose the spot. It's AI.
But I've given a warning for someone who I genuinely believed that they were misinformed or didn't know, for instance, like an accessible loading zone.
Right.
So yeah, like for a delivery driver, say it was like an Amazon delivery, because I know in a lot of companies or courier companies, those big tickets, the $450 tickets, that's the onus is on the driver for them to pay. That's a lot of money, and I understand that. So I tend to give them grace because I know they're on delivery, they'll come right back. So I'll be like, hey, in the future, this is the spot you don't park in ever, or you're going to get a $450 ticket.
I love this question from Bill, I should say. I almost called him Bell. I don't know. Bill Bell. But can I be arrested for filming inside the police station? So, yeah, you can. So private property can have, whether signs are posted or not, someone can say there's no filming here, and I'm directing you to leave. Failing to leave when directed by the premises, you're now violating the Trespass to Property Act. Conducting or being involved with a behavior or something that takes place is a prohibited activity. I was trying to find my words. So if I have a sign that says no cameras, because I put it up there and you take a camera out, now I tell you that sign don't. Whether the sign was there or not, if I've directed you can't do something as the representative of the property, you have to stop it. And if you don't, I direct you to leave, and you fail to do so, you're arrestable. So absolutely yes. And courts, it's even more, because there's a specific act that deals with courthouses that says you just can't. I arrested people when I was a court officer for that very thing. Let's see here. We got some stuff. This one is a good question. And there's other stuff I got flagged, but we'll do this one first. If I have a G-Class license and an M2, do I only have M2 restrictions when on a motorcycle? And I've had people come around and say, no. You have it that you don't, and you have other people who say you do. The ministry told one person that if you have an M2, you cannot have alcohol when you're behind the wheel of your G. Now, obviously, no alcohol or drugs when behind the or in control of a motor vehicle in general. It's the best way to go. 0 is the best. So there's a couple of things. G-Class license, if you are 22 or older and you're not a learner, so you have a G and you're 22 or older, you can have more than 0. If you have a G who is 22 and you have your M2, when you're using that M2 designation, you're in control of a motorcycle, then it's a 0 BAC. So it's when you are on the vehicle that utilizes that status. Just like a commercial driver, you have 0 BAC when you're in a commercial vehicle, but when you're in your personal vehicle utilizing a G-Class vehicle, the restriction isn't there. I would still endorse not having any alcohol in your system or drugs. But I love this question because it comes up once in a while, and it's a special question because I'm a motorcycle person, so I want to help my motorcycle fam. What is this? Let's say the speed limit is 110 kilometers an hour. At what speed would you usually stop someone? It depends. Now you're talking specifically at 110? Well, I probably would not even notice you because there's so many people doing 120, 130, 140, 150 passing you. So I'd be focused on people who are going faster than you. If you were the only person on the road, and I was bored, maybe I would take you at 120. I'd probably give you a 10-kilometer leeway. Probably, but not necessarily. Now, 10 kilometers on a 110 kilometer an hour road. When it comes to, Bill didn't like my answer? Really?
Oh, is that the donut?
No, that was the
Oh.
person about arresting people for filming. So
Oh.
Bill, who identifies as a barnyard animal, is no longer in the live stream because I banned them. Second person to get banned today. Like, I'm not muting. I actually
Yeah,
blocked them.
good.
Why would you say not nice things about barnyard animals? I mean, they don't want to be associated with you spamming. But
Don't spam.
again, sometimes the truth.
Don't spam the chat.
Yes. Sometimes the truth bothers people. And it's funny. I talk about this a lot. I talk about the fact that great conversation can happen even if you disagree with somebody. But when you start identifying it as a barnyard animal, I think it's rude and offensive to barnyard animals.
I'm just taking a peek.
A peek at the
that.
live?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Someone's like, Erin, how are you? Hello, Gerald. I'm fine.
What is the resolution for improper parking signage? The resolution? What you mean? What's the resolution for improper parking signage? College Park, North Side at Yonge Street.
Oh, sorry. I was reading it from there, and then you're saying it here. For
I was reading it through my ear.
example, College Park North Side at Yonge Street. Whereabouts? Because I know that there is like, it's a no parking zone. It turns into a metered area. I would have to go and look at it myself. So the resolution is we report it. It gets fixed by the city. Voila. It's a resolution.
Loggy says, can you arrest me for flirting? I don't know who they're flirting with, so I sorry, we can't lay charges. We don't have enough information to go on. Can I record a conversation without informing the other party? Depends on where you are. So in Canada, we are a one-party, what's the word I'm looking for? One-party knowledge, one party has to know. So you can't record two people having a conversation without their knowledge. But if I'm having a conversation with you, I can record. Now, as a police, we record all the time, but we tell you we're recording. We do that. But you can record. Now, the question is what happens with it later. So, yeah, both parties don't need to have. You don't have to have consent to record, and as long as one party in the conversation is aware of it, it's legal in Canada. But in the United States, that could be wiretapping laws in the States. You could end up in jail, big time. Know the laws before you do stuff. I actually have on my, I love doing this, and it's on the topic of this, so let's put this back on the screen. No, it's gone. Is it gone?
And it's gone.
Can I record? No, I put it back. So I have an IP phone system, and anyone who calls my IP phone system, I'm recording it. All calls get recorded.
Okay.
And I love it when people call me, or I'm calling like Rogers or Bell, or and they make agreements with you. Oh yeah, we're going to give you and then they don't hold the bargain. I'm like, I recorded that conversation, and that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
I was aware of it. I don't have to tell you. Don't tell them. They'll hang up on you right away. Do not tell those people. I don't believe in recording conversations for the purposes of gotcha stuff, except when dealing with companies that are screwing you. I have a specific number just for this purpose because I'm that guy.
Good.
All I do, I only use that IP phone for calling these people.
Yeah.
But from experience, if you say, by the way, they say, just we're recording this call. I'm like, just I am too. They hang up on you. They hang up on you.
Rude.
Terrible. All right. Let's see here. We got, we talked about this. I can unflag it. Are warnings for speeding recorded in the individual's file? Verbal warnings are verbal. They're finished. I say it, it's gone. But if it's a printed, a provincial offenses warning printed on paper, then it is recorded. It's in our system, and it's available for other police services, and it lives forever. Forever. Let's see here. We talked about that. Best coffee place in Toronto. So here's what I did. I brewed at 4:40 this morning. My coffee maker made 2 of these for me, and it's still hot. And I drink them here. I used to buy coffee every day. I would get Timmy's is the closest one to our station, so I would go to Timmy's, and just because. And in terms of other boutique places, like you're a Starbucks friend, right?
I am, but I've been good, and I've been also brewing my coffee at home and bringing it.
I have Nespresso here. Would you like some Nespresso after the show?
I'm trying to lay off the caffeine a bit because I do a pod and then I do an espresso pod in my coffee.
Okay.
So, but thank you for the offer. But yes, I have an espresso at home as well, thanks to Sean.
I got a deal.
It is the best, honestly. I'm not trying to push anything, but just
see. This
just
is
saying
my after show celebration. Oh no, I just pressed the button I don't want to press. Yeah, this is my after-show celebratory coffee pod. I will have caffeine injection shortly.
But I have been to some boutique-y ones within the city. Honestly, one was with a girl that I was doing a ride along with. She actually brought me there. She was doing, I don't know if you remember this. We did a ride along. She was trying to get more information about like the life of a parking officer because she was working on a feature film.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And she took me to this like kind of really cool, I don't know how to describe it. It's, I want to say like hipstery. I think it was off Ossington and Queen area. So that kind of area. But yeah, it was great coffee.
And Frank really wanted to know that because he asked it 4 times.
Oh.
But and Dale says, love what you do. Thank you, Dale. Appreciate the appreciation for us just doing what we do, and all we do is try and help at you. So I appreciate it. On the coffee thing, I really appreciate good coffee. I stopped drinking coffee with anything in it. I haven't put sugar in coffee. I used to drink double when I was like 12.
Yeah, I used to be gross and have like triples. Now
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
now it's
Blah.
like literally the tiniest bit of milk just to like change the color of the coffee. And I do admit I do put a little bit of sugar in it. I'm trying to cut that out as well. Just like not even a full packet, like half a packet. I don't like the like stevias or sweets.
Well, I don't put anything in.
Artificial.
I used to put cream only, and I like it. Cream is it makes it rich.
Yes.
And you can tell how totally traffic we're talking. But this is like a little sidebar. Traffic and coffee important. Need to have caffeine to be alert on the road. See, and now that I have nothing, I just drink it black. I really appreciate the subtle flavors of the coffee.
Yeah.
And my current favorite bean, because I grind fresh in the morning, my machine. I can't believe I don't wake up the house. I hear the coffee machine while I'm like brushing my teeth, so I have this amazing coffee, and I'm going to buy it on the way home because I just finished the last bag of coffee I had. It's Kicking Horse Coffee, Three Sisters.
I think that was the one we used to have before we got the Nespresso because it's really good.
It's got chocolatey notes. It is awesome. I tried Horsepower and I tried Bear. Grizzly, maybe it's Grizzly. One of them I really liked.
Oh, Grizzly, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
So one of them I really liked, and one of them but I can't get over it. $16 a bag of coffee, and I make a pot.
It's criminal.
Yeah, but yeah,
Jail.
Jail
time.
Straight to jail.
Yeah.
No good coffee, straight to jail.
Yes.
All right, let's get back to questions and business at hand.
Yeah.
This user loves listening to you guys. It's really nice that you think so, because otherwise we'd still be talking, but no one would be. But I'm kidding. Let's see here. Are you on the clock? Zed wants to know. We are both actually on the clock. Oddly enough, my clock usually goes right through my lunch, and I tend to do a lot of this on my own time. But I am on the clock. Boy, a lot of people want to know.
Someone else is spamming the chat, I think.
Who's that?
Too. I don't know. It starts with okay. They're like, sunshine list for this one. I will have you know I have never made the sunshine list. So
I have.
Wasn't couldn't be me.
Well, here's the thing. After 4 years, our sunshine list is completely out of date. To put someone on the sunshine list for $100,000 is the equivalent of putting somebody on the sunshine list for $50,000 25 or 30 years ago. It is a basic pay now.
This one
Oh. Yeah, it's
needs
okay.
to go. Anyway.
Yeah?
I don't know. It's up to you if you want to. Oh, yeah, there they are again. Stay mad.
I see. That's okay. We'll just mute. We won't kick you out, but we're definitely going to mute you. It wants to know if I should block the keyword of LOL. No, we're okay. We're okay. LOL is cool. That's not why they're being told to go away. What is this? Can you listen to music in your police cruisers? Oddly enough, we couldn't for very, very long, for a very, very long time. But now we can. The cars now have stereos.
Oh yeah. Well, we're in the. Sorry, what's the word? Upgrading our vehicles from the old, rundown Ford Focuses to the Escapes. But a lot of our old cars, the AM, FM radios are actually disabled, which sucked. But with the new cars, I think they're back.
The question is, when I bought my 88 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, it didn't come with an exhaust. Should I order one? Do you mean that you have no exhaust pipe? Like it's just the engine and open air after that? Was it manufactured with an exhaust? I imagine it is. Yeah, you need to have one. By the way, cool car. I saw the coolest Firebird I was in Newmarket, and a guy, and it was an older Indian gentleman, and he came back with a Smokey and the Bandit with the whip antenna, the full-on,
Oh, wow.
perfect movie replica of the Trans. Like, I was in love. I would have, if I had money, I'd give him the money.
I'm like, can I buy your
want the
car?
It's the coolest car I've seen in a long time.
That's awesome.
So yeah, get an exhaust. Whatever the standard is for the year it was manufactured. You don't have to get a current exhaust. You get an exhaust appropriate for the vehicle. How can one ride along with a police officer? That's simple. Apply to do a ride along. Call the Toronto Police Service, and you can't just come out and hang out. I mean, it's nice to be social and all, but you have to go out with a sergeant. You can't go to active calls, and usually it's for journalists and for students in a policing program. There has to be a reason. It's not just I'm curious. We talked about this. Oh, Marty once heard a guy ordering a quad coffee, 4 sugars, 4 cream. Yeah, that's vile.
That's fun. That's foul. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
But I will say that my grandfather, may he rest in peace, when he would ask for coffee in the hospital, he was in a nursing environment. He asked for like 6 sugars because he couldn't taste anything by the time he was like
gosh.
96. And if he wanted to have a dozen sugars, let him have what he wants. At that
that's fair
point,
enough.
that's it. Let's see here. Have you tried Jamaican Mountain Blue?
I have.
I remembered when I was in Jamaica, them telling me how amazing it is. I wasn't into coffee when I was in Jamaica. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I now want to try it. So thank you
excellent.
for the suggestion. There's a breakfast place right behind our police station, which is
EOB?
OEB.
OEB.
One expensive breakfast, OEB.
Is that what it actually stands for?
No, but it really is expensive.
I remember the first time we went, the owner told us what it stood for. Now I think it's...
Really?
I forget.
But I will say that their coffee, I think it's Ely coffee, is superb.
Their coffee is really good.
It's either Ely or it's something else, but I remember buying a bag of their incredibly expensive coffee because I loved it so much. Let's see here. We got, what is this? Green Pea parking outside permitted time zone, dispensing ticket with giving wrong date, College North.
Oh. Okay. I know what you're talking about. So a lot of, in 51 and 52 division, they are upgrading the pay and display machines where it's like pay by plate, where you put in your plate and the machine gives out the ticket. Yeah, that's a Green Pea Authority thing. That's not anything to do with signage. That's having to do with the actual
setting the machine up.
The pay and display machine. So I would reach out to actually Green Pea Authority. We're 2 different entities, so we don't have any control over the actual meters.
On the topic of coffee, Michael says, I take it black because I like coffee. It needs to taste good. So not much fast food. For McDonald's, it has to be iced coffee. I hate their hot coffee, mostly just hot water.
Yeah, you know what? Everyone always rants and raves about McDonald's coffee being better than Tim Hortons, and I agree with you. Right. I don't like their hot coffee, but I do enjoy their cold coffee.
Because it's covered with 9,000 kilos of sugar, and it's a super sweet
syrup.
And
if I do get McDonald's coffee, I ask for milk and sugar on the side because I don't like those automatic dispensers.
Okay.
I used to work at McDonald's. It was like, yeah, just too much.
I worked at McDonald's. When did you work? Well, probably a decade or more apart.
My first job at 15 years old.
Yeah, I think
until I graduated high school.
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's. I quite enjoyed my McDonald's.
It was fun. It was fun. I still have friends from that job.
I say recently, within the last 10 years, I went into a McDonald's and lo and behold, I was in uniform. It was across from a hospital, and I ran into my old manager.
Oh, no way.
And he was like, he was still working at McDonald's. And I say still, great guy, so nice. I think his name was Tony. And we had a conversation, and he said, look what you became. You did so much. And I said, but you've done much. Like, you've done so much too. You're helping people. You're raising me. What you taught me as a manager back when I was a kid working at McDonald's made me a better person, made me possible to get this job. And it's all part of it. He says, well, you're helping people. I go, you're feeding people. Yeah. You're helping people every single day.
Hey,
I said, we're both wearing uniforms, and we're both serving the public. And
right.
It's true.
I agree. Yeah.
And shout out to McDonald's people everywhere. Y'all do great work. I can't eat your food right now because I'm really watching what I eat. But I
want
really
McDonald's.
appreciate the level of community involvement McDonald's has with the community. They do great stuff. I actually have a letter I got to give to McDonald's. It's sitting right there. So we partner with McDonald's on certain things. They support us and they are awesome. So thank you to you. I put that on screen and I never actually read it. Have you ever done an investigation on someone online? Here's a funny story. I kind of started on TikTok because of an investigation online. Do you remember a story a while back way back with kids that were like skateboarding off the Gardiner Expressway?
I do remember that. Yeah.
I created the TikTok account in relation to an investigation of those people.
Oh.
Yes. That's how I started on TikTok. Thanks to those folks who broke the law and made it possible or purposeful appropriate for me to start an account. The guy that I muted is upset that this is considered policing. It is. It's called community engagement, friend.
Yeah.
We're here to develop relationships, to educate the public, answer your questions, and we can also smile and have fun because I would be doing nothing different if you were standing right in front of me.
And to counteract that, there was a really nice comment just above that by someone who actually used to be a TSV officer.
Where?
It was like Louise something. I just saw it.
I'm scrolling back. How far do I got to scroll?
I don't know. I think you passed it. But
Did I pass it?
I
used to be an auxiliary 51 Mississauga.
No, it was someone. It was like
sometimes
it was right below that mad comment.
Until 900 people came into the chat.
Oh, okay. Anyways, they just said used to be a TSV officer. Really cool that you're doing this. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Say it again so we can find you. Who are you? Do I know you? Where are you? Why aren't you here anymore? I'm in for evidence. I think that it really scrolled up a lot.
Yeah, because I literally just saw it and then it just.
Yeah, because it's all timing. I
think we
love listening to you guys. I think I might be the same person. Okay, this is Frank, best coffee place. Can you drive an ATV on the road with a G1? I'm going to read things real quick while I try and find this.
Okay.
The answer is no, you cannot. You must have a G2 or a G. How much is window tint ticket? The basic one is $110, but if you get your vehicle flagged for being an unsafe motor vehicle, you're going to get tagged and towed. We're going to seize your plates. So you're going to get not tagged, but you're going to get a ticket. Let's see here.
Oh, I think it's further down than that.
One party consent, Brendan. Yeah, it has to be further down. You can record anything in public that you can see from public. Yes, as a photographer, as a videographer, as a person, if you're not breaking any laws, if it's visible from the road, you're clear. As long as it's not for a sexual purpose, I should make that caveat. If you're doing creepy stuff, it's not legal. Are warnings for speeding? Yes, we definitely got this. Yeah, I see. Here's Dale who says, love listening to you guys.
Mm-hmm. We answered all these. Can you listen to music?
Front tinted window not legal ever. You can't tint your front windshield. Unsafe motor vehicle right away. Take you off the road. Take your plates. But we could just give you a ticket for obscuring the interior or obscuring the driver's view. And you could peel your plates off or peel your tint off right while we wait. We've done that before. We talked about this. Are police supposed to take your ID and not give it back? The ID is not your ID. The ID is actually property of the ministry. If we're seizing your license because you are suspended, then we don't give it back, and there's no obligation to. We're actually seizing it on behalf of the Ministry of Transportation. If we're just giving you a ticket and we're supposed to give you your license back and we forgot, oops, that happens on occasion. Usually it arrives by special delivery, like my hand. I've done it before. I have to meet you at your house because I took your stuff, and that's an oopsie-doo. This was a question that I totally ignored earlier. And does cops know if the car has insurance or no while driving behind the vehicle? So there is some information. We have access to what the Ministry of Transportation can see, and sometimes that includes a confirmation, and sometimes it says unconfirmed status. And the truth is that it's not up to the minute live. There's basically an update that comes through, and every time it updates the records, the most recent response is there. But that doesn't mean it's actually insured. So an independent investigation takes place. I call the insurance company directly to verify. And what I used to do is I used to have a separate list of everyone that I investigated, and I would take my time because I have 3 years to lay the charge. So I take my time and go through. It's a thing. Mm-hmm. Paul Seniors 6956 says, Toronto cop. I've been seeing your lives for a while. Thank you. Well, you're most welcome. Thank you for the thank you. I appreciate that you're here paying attention and hanging out with us and contributing to the conversation. It's all about a conversation. Shy Gal says, hey, officer, I've got a question. But I look forward to seeing the question. We talked about that.
Yeah.
And that so okay, we're definitely on the way to the right question because they're the person who bought the 88.
Oh, yes.
Are you preparing for the cup to come to TO? Which cup are we talking about? Is this the soccer? Is this a soccer question?
Preparing for the cup to come? Yeah. What is that? The World Cup?
I must be the World Cup. You can tell that we're big sports fans
Yeah, if
here.
my fiance was here, he would be able to answer that. But
is having big subs considered noise violation if they are playing? Making big noise is a noise violation. Having speakers that are capable of noise is not a violation. Okay, well, hey, there's the quad question. See, now we're catching up.
Yeah.
We are nearly there. And watch it update again. We talked about Mountain Blue. Okay, wrong date. We covered that. We covered this. Michael takes it back. What did Michael say?
I think
no, we talked about that. It wasn't I take it back, I take it black. Okay.
There it is.
Oh,
Found
okay.
her.
So Whiskey says, love the public outreach, very humanizing. And this is the comment we were looking for. Louise says, I used to be a TSV officer. Cool, you are doing this. Well, thank you very much. And now, officially, that was 10 minutes of looking for your comment to say thank you. But thank you. I appreciate that. I got to say that it's been amazing how positive the response has been amongst police officers. Mm-hmm. So some police officers and social media who do non-educational content or less educational content have been met with not so favorable reviews from their peers. And I was really, really nervous when I started doing this that cops are going to hate this. It's new, it's different. We don't like change. We don't like productivity or development into new things. We like the status quo. So I was quite concerned that it was going to be like that. And I was so impressed that people loved it and supported it. And it's been years we're doing it now. And, I've had chiefs of police on here. I've had fire chiefs. We have a plan to have the new chief come on here and be on the show. And we do podcasting too. So there's so much we want to do and continue to grow, and it's all because of you, all the folks that come onto the channel who vibe with us and chat and have questions answered. This is all for you. Mm-hmm. Although I enjoy doing this, don't need to know the answers to these questions more than I already do. Yeah. And I imagine you know enough about parking. Yeah. So it really is just for you. We also don't get paid by TikTok. Somebody asked if we get paid for this. I'm like, I get paid because I'm a police officer. I don't get paid by TikTok. And they're like, it's wrong that you get paid for the creator account. I'm like, first of all, this is Canada.
We don't have that
yet. And secondly, we actually, both of us have verified accounts. And as such, as government verified accounts, we are not capable of receiving any money. In the very beginning, people were throwing us gifts left, right, and center. We couldn't tell them to stop. We told them to stop. Please don't. We're police. We don't need. They would not stop. And we had to get TikTok to actually change their policies. So government accounts can no longer, even if they want to, take money. Okay. Cole Beaver says, I got to ask, thinking about moving to Toronto, is underglow illegal in Toronto on motorcycles? It's not a Toronto thing. It's an Ontario thing. So if you already live in Ontario, the laws are the same. If you are creating light or projecting light in a direction that is not legal, like you can't project. I used to have blue glow in my engine compartment. It was LEDs under the tank that shone onto the chrome, and then you would see a little bit of blue haze. It wasn't bright light shining out. If you were directly, there, see a new update. If you're projecting light outwards, you may very well be breaking the law. But there's no underglow law in Ontario. Like there just isn't.
This person needs to go.
Oh. So, really?
Oh, they're trolling hard.
If they hate cops, they don't need to watch us anymore.
Yeah, like, why are you here?
Well,
bye.
They're not here anymore. To the troll who says, I hate cops.
And literally, like, engaging with all these people in the chat. Go do something better with your time.
And, well, now I know why. It's the eye makeup. I'll just screen grab that because I think it's entertaining. Wait, where'd it go? There we go. Now I know who hates me. But you have 3 videos and 102 followers. You really don't need to engage with me. I know. I'm such a prima donna. You got to have like 1,000 followers to troll me and that I care. But I like how Marcy Mouse says it's only if you're causing a problem. Okay, I think I know what this is all about. Okay. They need to, so I'm now going to give Zed, even though Zed can't see me talking about Zed, they're saying that we arrest or ticket based on a quota. There is no quota.
For arrests? What?
Well, there's no arrest quota.
Yeah,
and
there's just no quotas.
But I like that I like the belief that we're doing this because we got to hustle and make some money. We don't get paid based on volume of sales. We're not in the sales business. We're in the public safety thing. And Emma, immediately and inappropriately responded with, "There is no quota here."
Yeah.
And I've never actually heard of a place that has a quota. I will say this: if you are someone who doesn't work, don't come to traffic, because we expect you to go out and be traffic officers. And part of being a traffic officer is to write traffic tickets.
Yeah.
So if you don't write tickets, but everybody else writes ticket, the assumption is not that there's no one breaking the law, but that you are lazy, right? And that's performance evaluation. That's not a quota. If I went a week without writing a ticket, but I arrested 5 people with guns and drugs and stuff, I'm busy. Mm-hmm. That's it. So, if I'm not busy, I'm not arresting anybody doing any collisions, there better be something doing with my time because I can't justify going to Timmy's all day. Some have tried. What is this? Okay, cool. Traffic partners. Oh, no, that would be awesome. Michael says, traffic services partners with McDonald's. Can we get a toy highway motor unit, toy TPS Dodge Charger with a Happy Meal? We're not that kind of partners.
Yeah.
We're community partners. We support the community together because we both like the community. It's a thing. What is this? There's a few TikTokers here that film Metro all the time in Toronto. That is possible.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about TikTokers, but I've seen YouTubers and stuff too.
Like the audit people, or like the
or they're just, I don't know.
I think that's what the guy who I said goodbye to after he posted all the barnyard stuff. Because I saw a video where people were upset that they were being kicked out of a 52 division for filming. Because you're not allowed to film.
Private property.
Okay. What is this one? All right. We talked about the underglow. Good morning, officers. Thank you for your service. God bless you. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're happy to be here. Hello, police. I love you, police. That's from Money. And if you know Money Talks, yeah. I was going to finish that, but, it wouldn't be appropriate. What are the rules for self-driving cars? I should actually click the button. Rules for self-driving cars. If you mean like the level 2 cars that have lane assist and basically keep you going in the right direction, you're responsible. You have to be in control of that vehicle, and you can't take a nap. Even a Tesla is a level 2. It's not full autonomous. Level 3 is where someone's calling me. Level 3 is where things start going into more automatic. Like level 3 is where you really don't have to do anything. The vehicle's manufacturer is responsible for what happens there and there. Level 4 is true autonomy. That's get in the car and take me there, and you don't have to sit behind the wheel. Different things. Level 3 is legal in Ontario, and level 4 and 5 are level 3 is legal but not currently available to the market. It's not sold here, even though it would be legal. Level 4 and 5 is not legal, except for through one of the plans, like Gaddick is doing a pilot project, and there's this university that has a self-driving like little bus on their property. But that's it that I'm aware of right now. Okay. What is this? Can you be arrested for not being of age on an age restricted? No, Claudia. So 13 is the age for TikTok. Can you be arrested for using TikTok if you're 12? No. But they have the right to kick you off the platform they have the right to kick you off anyway. But it's all about your safety. It's not the same. It's not an offense under the law. Do you think police need re-education to reduce social injustice and racial discrimination? Josh Jai wants to know. So oddly enough, we are constantly being trained on new and emerging policies and procedures and things that are important to the community. So, we've got training on different religions and races and LGBT. Like we get trained, and it's constant and forever and being updated, and things change all the time, and sensitivity. And so do we need to be retrained? We're already trained. Sometimes people don't like the fact that they're getting arrested and blame other things. But I don't think we have a problem there. I think we're actually quite good at staying on top of things.
Yes. We have to do a lot of online training courses for
It's
stuff like that.
nonstop.
Yeah, it is. And it's mandatory.
And it's good stuff. I will say this: it's good stuff. Like
Yeah,
I
I've learned
love learning
some
about
cool
the
stuff.
Sikh faith.
Yeah.
I love learning about Islam. I'm actually watching doing the training now on the Jewish faith, because we talk about everybody.
Yes.
We need to learn and understand about every faith because we interact with everyone. So it's really good. And kudos to the folks at Toronto Police College who develop these programs, and to police services across North America who contribute to these training courses. We really do have a great people, and we're possibly the most highly trained and diverse police agency in the planet. Yeah.
I'd say so.
Let's see here. Jerome, if a street has no left turn, but then you go to the next street, pull a U-turn, and then turn right. Well, if the U-turn was legal, then that would be legal to make the right turn. You just can't make the left turn. It's all about where you're making the turn, adhering to the signage. And if you are making they don't want to make the left turn for whatever reason, they put that sign up. But if you make the U-turn, make a right turn, as long as all those turns leading up, then it's legal. We talked about subs. Oh, Dale is a skip tracer, retired. I still have files and skips I track. Very cool. Skip tracing is cool. I mean, I can't say that I know everything about skip tracers. Are you in the States? Because that's really something with the whole bail bondsman stuff, right? Isn't that where you would do most of your work? Because the whole bail system is very, very different in the States. It's very interesting. Maybe I can get like bounty officer. I can have a second career as a bounty hunter. What is this? Oh, now somebody wants to say that a police station is not public. No, it's actually private property. It's not. If it's got a lock on the door and you don't have the key, it's not your property. More people talking about 52 Division. What is this? 12 o'clock. We are definitely 2 hour.
Yeah,
2 hour
holy
mark.
moly. Well, I came late to the game, but that's okay. I still got about an hour and a half in here.
Yeah. What is this? Do you think that TikTok Live is a good use of taxpayer dollars? Yeah.
I saw that come up live in the chat, and everyone was like, yes, 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 yes.
Yes, and everyone's responding. 132 people live on TikTok, 111 people on mixed other platforms. The fact that this is part of a library of assets that are available for everyone to listen to review, to ingest the information into ChatGPT and develop their own learning method from it. The fact that I download this and then re-upload it as a podcast, yes, 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 and yes. This is a fantastic way to engage with the public. We are creating a library of information. We are helping the public. How would 250 people roughly in this very second, in this room right now, get answers to all these questions, be party to this conversation, if not for social media? This is the example of what every police service across the globe should be doing, because we're helping people. Policing, and very specifically traffic policing, is about keeping people safe, reducing serious injury and death on our roads. What is the number one way to do that? Well, yeah, we can write tickets and we can tell people, hey, you're doing it wrong. Don't do it again. Here's a ticket, it's $110. Remember not to do it wrong. That's great. But you've already had the offense committed. They're probably been doing it for years. Education, however, is a huge component of traffic safety. It's to get it changed before it's a problem, before you get stopped, to save you the money and the aggravation and the court and the increase in your insurance. We're helping you. So if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But for everybody else, yeah. What are you laughing at?
So I'm laughing. My friend who's watching is messaging me. Hey. making me blush.
That's funny. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Cops.
Inbox.
Oh, that's nice. Bro, I wonder if that's the person who wow, that's gross.
I didn't even see that.
No, but Brian Broken Thoughts. Well, that is a broken thought, isn't it? Your name is appropriate.
Why did it take me so long to understand that?
Well, he's saying that
comment.
dead cops are good cops,
Yeah.
and that's pretty gross.
I'm thinking PO brain. I'm like, in a box in a division for my patrol zone?
Well,
That was
but
an
I
airhead
will
comment.
say this. I would ban you, but I don't want to like actually have a problem with the stream that could possibly stop other people from seeing it. But everybody else who sees that should report that person for their behavior on TikTok because it's pretty gross. Ernesto says, Toronto Joker is still on TikTok. How come you guys can't catch him? Toronto Joker got released. I don't know if, as long as that person is abiding by their release conditions, they can do whatever they want. I don't know if there's an active warrant. When everyone was looking for him last time, there was an active warrant. I was actually shocked. He was on video. I saw him. People were like, hey, he's on there. I went and checked him out. What possesses someone to, anyway, I don't understand him. The new electric Hummer weighs 10,000 pounds. Over time, wouldn't that damage roads? It's possible. I mean, there is a maximum weight rating. For them to be able to sell it legally, it must be compliant. I saw that at the auto show. Do you remember seeing it? They were doing the demo
I
rides.
did go see it, yeah.
I'm not feeling it.
I'm just not a fan of Hummers.
Oh,
to
wait.
begin with.
No.
Ah!
Humvee H1, my favorite wheels, period.
Yeah.
Arnold, he had it right when he
Yeah.
said that was a cool vehicle. But the H2 and the H3 and no. How long do criminal charges under the Traffic Act stay on your record after they are dropped? So, okay, there's a lot to unpack here, King Stasi. Criminal charges are not under the Highway Traffic Act. Criminal charges are criminal. They're under the Criminal Code of Canada. Under the Traffic Act is the Traffic Act, and it's separate, provincial versus federal. When you're talking about criminal charges, if you're being convicted, they're on your record, and they're there forever unless pardoned. If you have a conviction under the Provincial Offences Act, under a criminal code, under a Highway Traffic Act, they're there for 3 years, and then they're not for the current searches, but they're there for the lifetime otherwise. Like I can see your entire record from before you got your license, if you got a ticket or were charged. If they were dropped, however, and that's the key to what you were saying, if charges are dropped, there's no conviction registered. There is nothing on your record, neither criminal or HTA. So there you go. Bazinga. What is this? Is it a law that you can't change lanes in an intersection? No.
Yeah, I was surprised when we talked about that like a year or so ago. I was like, really? This whole time? I thought that was, every time I saw someone do it, I was like,
okay, let's talk about things that I grew up thinking were against the law that aren't.
Yeah.
Throw them into the chat if you're paying attention. This is getting fun for FriYAY.
Yeah.
I grew up believing that you could not drive barefoot.
Okay, well that makes sense because like I have driven barefoot before, like at a cottage or something to just like move a vehicle, and it's not very comfortable at all.
No, and I always like to
actually,
say,
yeah, it's not fun.
well, here.
Oh, we got an yeah, I saw that
more
too.
barnyard fun. Well,
Yeah.
I at least I caught that and muted them.
Yeah, see, I had the chat up too. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but
It's all good. I just mute them. It's not even I'm not banning them because they can come back and I'll mute them again another time. But if you're going to just put emojis up, like get original. At least send your hate like a grown up. Well, hate isn't a grown up thing. It's very childlike. So maybe the emojis are better for you. Let's see here. Now, the thing was, I don't know why I did this. I was like trying to remember stuff. So one was driving. Yeah, picture you getting into an emergency situation and you slam on the brakes and you hit the pedal with your toes, and that is a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
So not illegal, but not a good idea. Let's talk about driving with the interior light on. Legal or illegal? Which one do you think? Is anyone voting as we go here?
let me see.
I don't know. We're still behind in there, but
Yeah.
So I grew up thinking that it was illegal to drive with the interior light on, and that's because people, or my parents would say, turn off the interior light, you're going to get a stop by police. But it's not illegal, at least not in Ontario. In other jurisdictions, it might be. And I think a lot of this is the influence of American television. I think a lot of the things I grew up thinking were illegal were because it was illegal somewhere else. We got it from TV. Oh, Dale was a skip tracer in Ontario. I want to know more, Dale. DM me. I want to know more about skip tracing. What do you do? I want to know. This is so cool. And other people want to know too, because Just a Girl said, Dale Payne, what is skip tracing? I think that's very interesting. I used to be a private investigator years and years ago, but I had nothing to do with skip tracing. I just had a license that said PI. So I wanted to be like Magnum. Okay.
This person is spamming if we the man did we lose it?
Well,
they were spamming the chat, like they're saying, answer my question. It's like we can't see it in
you're
real
talking
time.
to yourself and just upsetting everybody else. I got stopped for wait, I want to get this one on the screen. So we're still, anything that you think of that you thought was illegal, but when you grew up, like U-turns in an intersection, not illegal if there's a left turn lane, there's no sign prohibiting and it's safe to do so. But someone asked earlier, and I flagged it, is it legal to make a U-turn on a red light?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
You're proceeding before green or running the red light, depending on how you approach the intersection. If you're at speed and you just wheel through it, it's red light running. If you come to a stop and then you make a U-turn during a red light, you proceed before green. So yeah, and of course, if it's signed that you can't, you can't. Is it illegal to drive an automatic car with a broken left foot? Oh, let me go back to here first. I got charged for stunt driving in court, dropped to a 29 over speeding ticket. Demerit points? Yeah. 29 over, is it 4 demerit points? I think it's 4 demerit points, but definitely demerit points. 3 demerit points is till, hang on, I'll check. I'm going to check. Let me, because demerit points isn't a thing we do. It's issued by the courts, and I don't normally care. But let's do 29 over. I have a little cut. It's you're lucky. Three demerit points, same as if you were. So it becomes 4 demerit points at 30. 30 to 39. Actually, 49 is, so 30 to 49 is 4 demerit points. 50 is 6 demerit points. Interesting. And then, is it illegal to drive with an automatic car with a broken left foot? Left foot. It's an automatic car. Where does your left foot? Why would you even?
Why would you use?
You wouldn't use your left foot.
Are you using your right foot?
Yeah.
An automatic car, like if it.
But as it broke, your left foot has nothing to do with driving in an automatic car. So trick question, was that just to see what's up? One jelly bean. Interesting. Saran says, it's a good idea of this live show. Better if you do it voluntarily, not while on the clock. Thanks, Guy. Why is it better if we do it voluntarily? Why would I do it voluntarily? So
this is a
I'm
job.
a professional who teaches people about law and safety. It's a police function. And I will say that I do a lot of this voluntarily on my own time. But why would I do it voluntarily? This has been 2 hours of education. And why would I take time away from my family beyond what I do answering questions in the chat? Not the chat, but in the comments. But why would you assume someone should do that for you as a service for free? I don't know. I think, do you expect your lawyer, do you think your lawyers should give you free legal advice, or should you pay them?
Think of it as a service. We're providing service and education.
And for the greater good. I mean, I love that you like it's a good idea, but I'm perplexed by your desire to have it for free. Like, someone's got to pay for it. And I mean that with all the love and respect possible. But, if I asked a lawyer to come in and speak about, tax advice, are they going to do it on their free time, or are they going to do it when they're getting paid? Just saying. And
just to add a little tidbit to that, because I know you love your tidbits, when Sean and I are out in, the wild, when we're doing, public events like the auto show, do you know how many people approach us, thanking us and telling us how much they've learned from his live streams, my videos? And to me, that alone, if I have one person come up to me in person and tells me that, I know I'm putting value into the world.
There is no question.
That's it.
There's no question that this is valuable. It's just, and I'm sorry to make it like to draw you out. Just that comment really threw me for a loop. So it's great, but it's only good if it's not costing us anything.
It's like a backhanded compliment, kind of. Yeah.
But I'm sure that's not what they intended.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Well, they did say thank you, so you're welcome.
I don't mean like I'm not upset so much as it just adds a layer of discussion that I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Where people don't value or some people, because many people, we have 662,000 people who follow on TikTok, thousands who watch, over 20,000 on TikTok, Twitter. We've got lots of people watching, almost 700,000 people when you amalgamate all
I
the
was going
followers.
to say, if you put our accounts together, we're close to 1 million.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Actually, we are. Because I'm getting close to 400,000.
Nice.
So with
we're
that,
over
plus
1 million.
yours, yeah.
Combined, we're over 1 million
Combined.
followers. Obviously, there's people who find value in the content, and it's great. And I will say that the auto show was amazing. So many amazing people who came up and said, "We did a selfie. This is great. We watch you all the time.
Yep.
I've learned so much. You've helped me get my license." Whatever the case is, we're proud and happy to be of service, and we give a lot. Like we did that auto show. I think it was 11 days straight that I was there.
You were there 11 days straight. I was there for 2 of the weekends, but
it's time
it was
away
still
from family.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
we got paid to be there.
But they were long days.
Oh, yeah.
They were long days.
But it's a sacrifice. And then my kids who hate TikTok, why? Because dad is on TikTok answering questions at home when he should be spending time with the family. Because I care, because I want to answer your questions, because people have questions and they will feel ignored and hurt if they don't get answers. Ask a traffic cop, are you allowed to film police activity? Yes, if you're in a public place and you're not breaking a law, you're not trespassing, and you're not ignoring direction from a police officer, then you can film police activity. Now, again, not for a sexual purpose. If you're filming me because... Anyway, that's weird. Let's see here. What is it? Is cop right stopping me and giving me 6 tickets with 3 black points? I don't know what a black point is. Because I have a G1 riding 150. I would arrest you.
I have a G1. You shouldn't even be on the highway with a G1.
Well, G1 and to say riding?
Because I have a G1 driving 150 highway. Okay.
Well, 150 stunt, I'm going to take your car. You don't have a license, so I'm going to... Wow. You should never have a license.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And as a G1, you're also going to get like a 90-day suspension. No, 30 days suspension if it's your first time, on top of... So you're going to get a suspension for having anything with more than 4 points. You're going to have a suspension because you're going to get 30 days for the stunt. Like, there's a whole lot of not good coming your way. Yeah. What if you sell your car as is and the person wants a refund a week later? That is a personal or a private matter. They can take it to court. You don't have to give refunds. Hopefully you have a contract that says as is, where is.
Yeah.
No take backs. Now, if it's fraud, if you fraudulently misrepresented the vehicle, that they may have a thing to sue you for. But no, they don't. There's no return policy on vehicles. It's done, and if they transferred it into your name, it's absolutely done. If you're a curbsider that's already breaking the law, they might call the organization that tracks and enforces this stuff, and you could be eligible for tickets. There's a whole lot of depends in that situation. Gave me excessive noise and muffler ticket, but was not doing noise. It just gave me a ticket. Well, I'm assuming that they had some reason to give you the ticket as opposed to just making it up like your car is noisy. If your car creates too much noise, whether you're doing a lot of noise based on your opinion or not, that's a thing. He just gave me a ticket 5 months. I'm not following your follow-up. Let's see here.
I just see this question here that I would like you to answer because I see this happen a lot often now. Let's say I turn left as soon as the light turns green, not on an advanced, before the cars in the other lane go.
Stunt driving.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's a jackrabbit start. So if you, the way the way the law is written, if you make a left turn before the oncoming traffic has an opportunity to respond to the light, either before or just after the light turns green, it's a jackrabbit start. Stunt driving, seize your car for 14 days, suspend your license for 30. The charges of stunt driving would be laid. You'd be looking at $2,000 to $10,000 fine, 1 to 3 year driving suspension on your first conviction, 3 to 10 year suspension on your second conviction, lifetime ban of driving. Oh yeah, and up to 6 months in jail. So don't do that. That's really not good. Let's see here. Oh. Jack says, weird, happened a year ago, never got any points. I don't know what the original question was, Jack, but I can tell you that points only go on your license up to 2 years after the date of offense. If it took 2 years to go to court and you're convicted, no points will ever enter your license. Your conviction, however, will stay on your license for 3 years. And you have to also understand that points mean nothing to the insurance company. Convictions do. So the part that's going to hurt you in your pocket is still the conviction. The points are there to determine your driving behavior. Obviously, if it's 2 years since until the time you actually got convicted, your behavior may have changed. And the idea with the points is that they accumulate. And if you have a singular time when you have more than a certain amount, you'll lose your license or get nasty grams, letters that say be better. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, one jelly bean says, no, it is my left foot. I was told I wasn't allowed, and I thought it was weird. I'm just parsing a bunch of stuff together. But yeah, you can drive with the left lane in a cast. Absolutely. As long as it doesn't interfere with your ability to safely operate your vehicle, you're good. Yeah.
I got a parking question here that I'm looking at right now. I live in Toronto. What happens when you park on a assigned street? I got a ticket for 3 hours. So I don't know what you mean by assigned street, but the city bylaw within Toronto as a whole, if it's not do you mean an unsigned street? I think that's what you meant. An unsigned street. Yeah. So any street that is unsigned, the parking max is no more than 3 hours. So someone most likely complained. We chalk the tires, time them for 3 hours, come back and issue tickets. And like I said, unsigned offense. It is posted on the outskirts of all the Toronto borders. Like when you get off the highways, it will say, welcome to Toronto, parking max 3 hours. The more you know.
Dr. Wright says, this is a good cause. It educates our laws, even though my questions are ignored. But I didn't see your question. We're not actively trying to ignore you. You have to understand from our perspective, with 200 plus people in the room and questions sliding up on our screen faster, and by the time it gets to the top of our screen, after we have a buffer of about 30 or 40 questions, they're gone forever. We can't see them. It's our best intention, and I've been doing this for 2 hours and 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
This is the longest. I think this is the longest live stream I've ever done.
I'm getting hungry.
We're gonna have to shut it down now. 10 minutes. 12:30 is done.
Yeah.
2.5 hours. New record. Not planned, but it is. And I gotta play the new song, the Outbound song. Okay. So just no new questions. If you ask questions that are time stamped after 12:20, we're not even gonna look at them because I can't. I do want to go back in time. There's dad jokes. Let me see here. Will I ever be able to go back on the road? I don't know. I've been working towards it as a goal. I'm actively trying to improve and get healthy so I can be released. Like, I'm not permitted to go back on the road right now. I've asked. I'd love to. Realistically, I know I'm not capable, but I keep asking anyway. So it's based on my current injury status. I'm just not able to do it safely to protect myself or others at the moment. But I would like to. I mean, I never wanted to be off the road. But you make life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and that's how all this happened. And I got to say that this is important. So I'm not glad that I got into a collision. I'm not happy to be off the road, but I am really happy that I'm able to produce content and educate and help people across Canada, North America, the world. This has been really good. My car got stolen, and these dudes on TikTok, dudes, but okay. Yeah. We don't investigate stolen cars. I mean, if we find one, we'll deal with it. But we're not. This is the Traffic Safety Programs Unit. This is Toronto Police Traffic Services. We are the traffic unit for the City of Toronto. We're not the car auto squad theft people. Different police have different specialties. I mean, and yeah. What's the difference between police and bylaws? Well, that's a lot. Bylaws are laws enacted by a municipality. Police are police.
Maybe they're talking about bylaw officers, which I am. I'm a parking bylaw officer, but we actually it's not even within Toronto Police. The City of Toronto have their own entity of bylaw officers that enforce all the other city bylaws. Most
agents, like in York Region, they don't have police involved in parking.
Yeah, no, it's like we're one of the only parking authorities that are under the police umbrella in most of Canada, from all of my understanding. I know in the States, they do have some parking officers that are under police.
We have a Telegram group. If you go to telegram.TrafficCop.ca, you can join the Telegram group. And Michael just sent me a message on Telegram saying, what is a black point? It must have been a typo, Michael. Let's see here. Did you guys see and just to finish off on bylaws and provincial laws and criminal laws, it's what area of government. So a criminal law is a federal law. provincial laws like the Highway Traffic Act are provincial and are different province to province. And then municipal laws are specific to the municipality and they're enacted by them, but have provincial offenses authority essentially. Like they're written. Municipal laws are I don't write them, so it's a POA. It's still POA court, isn't it? Your part municipal court, or is it municipal bylaw court? It's Toronto court.
Our tickets?
Yeah.
No, they're actually called PVNs, provincial violation notices. So that's why they're able to go through the actual city, and there's no court anymore for us.
Oh, okay.
So I think that in that case, I think the city can like add interest to your fines if
Oh,
you don't pay them.
So and actually, probably the money goes to the city for parking. I imagine. Very different. Like we write a ticket, it goes to the province. What is this? Can I turn right on a red in an area where it's legal to even with a red light camera? So here, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. If there is a red light or a stop sign, you need to stop. Whether you're turning right or going straight, you must stop. Now, I shouldn't say that because people will think you have to stop and then go through a red light. For a red light, regardless of whether you're turning or going straight, you must stop. If it is safe to do so and not signed otherwise, you are then permitted to make a right turn on a red after coming to a complete stop and ensuring that it is safe to proceed. If you roll through a red light and there's a camera, you will be ticketed for running the red light because guess what? You ran the red light. And I always talk about this. There was a person who got 4 red light tickets in a row circling the block.
Oh.
They just didn't stop. And there's an allegation that some countries don't require you to stop. I don't understand why. But the people want to get rid of right turn on red for traffic safety, for pedestrian safety. Is making a U-turn on a red light legal? Absolutely not. It's a red light. You must stay and wait. How can I find work in Toronto, Canada from Tunisia? I haven't the foggiest. I don't know what what the requirements are to actually apply for working permits here. I don't know. Can Ontario police give demerits to other provinces' licenses? So interesting question. We don't give demerits to anybody. We issue offense notices. We write you a ticket for an allegation that you did something, and it's associated with your license. You go to court or you pay it. And then the Ministry of Transportation logs that. And if there's a reciprocal agreement, and there is for every province, then we would communicate that information back to your license issuer. And then, yes, you would likely see points. Guaranteed, there's no guarantee, but you should. Here's a question from Linda. Replying to traffic services with a question. If your handicap sticker is 1 day late, you are parked. What can you do until you can get it done the next day?
Wait, hold on. I don't get this. If you're a handicap...
If it's expired?
Oh, if it's expired by 1 day and you are parked, what can I do until you get the new permit? That's actually a great question. I've never had this question before.
You should get the notice well in advance,
not
on your last day.
You should get the notice to get a new one.
And they're good for 5 years.
Yes, they are. So that's a long time to, get your new one. And in the meantime, if you didn't get that, I suggest going to your, physician and
Start paperwork.
Get a temporary permit until you get your, proper one.
And generally, if you go to renew, they will give you a temporary.
Yes.
So the big thing is get in there before you need to renew. Don't get in the situation where this is even a question. Have you ever seen Sheriff Judd in Polk County, Florida? His videos are good. His videos aren't just good; they're legendary. So yes, I've seen his videos. He actually in one of his videos was telling someone who tried to shoot at an intruder that they hold gun safety courses, and next time please shoot them properly to save taxpayers' money. Legendary.
Wow.
Legendary. Is it illegal to lane filter at red lights on a motorcycle? There is no specific law about lane filtering. If you're doing it at speed, if you're doing it in an unsafe manner, you may find yourself getting stunt driving. You can get criminal dangerous driving if you're doing it at high speed. You can get careless driving. But doing like waddling 2 car lengths up to avoid being the last person in line when cars are coming and could be on their phones not paying attention, don't really have a problem with that. Here's an interesting question. Can you honk the car to show solidarity at a protest? That is actually unnecessary noise. Honking your car at a protest, you could find yourself being charged for unnecessary noise, $110. Wow. And nobody in the community wants any of this noise to begin with. So you're now adding to the problem, and not good. Okay, it is 28 minutes after. Let's do some dad jokes. Let's play the. Let's start with dad joke number 1. Hang on a second here. And just a reminder, if you want to download and subscribe to our podcast, go to TrafficCop.ca. You can get all of our social media there. Then you can go and synchronize your devices to have the replays available when you're driving on those long drives and you just want to hear this show again. You can do that. You can also send it to your friends so they can become aware of all this knowledge. It's all good. So let's start with Michael's. Wait. Quote first. The non-joke first. Quote, "He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight." Sun Tzu. That's the author of The Art of War. It's a good quote. Akela, this might be my favorite. A favorite quote so far. I quite like the Art of War. I got to reread it again. you messing with my home time. Okay, I read a lot of books. Let's see here. We got dad joke number 1. I ordered a chicken and an egg on Amazon. I will let you know. I like that one.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's actually a good one. Michael, kudos to you.
It's a modern dad joke.
I like it. My son just threw a milk carton at me. How dare he?
Oh.
I like that too.
It's a knee slap.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's go. Question here. A lot of stuff here. Saran says, quote, "Arrive late, better than never." I like that too. All right. Let's open this up. I have the. So do you want to hear the one we played 2.5 hours ago? The intro, because you never heard it.
Sure.
So there were 2 versions. There was a rap, and there was something like a Beach Boys-esque vibe.
Okay.
Which one do you want to hear?
Let's go for the beach vibes. Did the lyrics come up on screen? No.
Yeah, I can make that happen. Oh, I broke it.
Oh.
Hey yo, it's Friday. Time to start the show.
We know this was supposed to be played earlier.
ASKaTrafficCop. Let's roll with the flow. Of course we've got our host Sean Shapiro, and just because it's Friday, we've got Erin the parking guru too.
I love that.
Our questions, well, that's why we're here. Talking traffic safety, traffic law and parking that's clear. Want to join this job? We can talk about that.
Still
too.
here.
Is he recruiting?
Yeah.
We've got the answers for you. Traffic safety, police and parking flaws. Join the party. Let's keep it live. Ask your questions. We're here to share. Together we'll make our streets safe and fair.
This is a long one, eh? I like it though.
From double parking to that yellow line, we'll break it down, sip some knowledge, have a good time.
Now that's the one that where'd I go here? Back to playlists. So that's the one was the intro. And I also played a rap version of that. Same lyrics to rap. Was it this one?
Hey yo, it's Friday, time to start the show. Ask a traffic cop, let's roll with the flow. Of course we got
Identical
our own
lyrics.
Sean
Yeah.
Shapiro. And just because it's Friday, we got Erin the parking guru too. It's on scene. Got questions? Well, that's why we're here.
This is
Talking
Suno,
traffic
by the
safety,
way.
Traffic law and parking that's clear. Want to join this job? We can talk about that too. Any way you cut it, we got the answers for you.
awesome.
Traffic safety, police and parking vibes.
I like it.
Join the party.
I have a playlist when I drive my car listening to the crap that I make at work.
Oh my gosh.
Because I like traffic music apparently. But then I decided to try a different style of music, one that I've really not used before,
Which?
Delta blues.
Okay.
And this is the outro,
Okay.
folks. Have a wonderful weekend. Drive safe. Drive safe? Drive safe.
Yeah, well, be
drive
dry.
safe.
It's been rainy out
Park
there.
legally, drive sober, all that stuff. And it's all in the music, too. So this is the goodbye. Until next week. We'll see you next week. But here's some Delta Blues.
Well, it's the end of the show.
Oh, like it.
Time to hit the road. Got my engine roaring legally. Gonna lighten up the load. We talk traffic. We talk police. We talk